Shalom, shalom, shalom. Peace and blessings. Banya, what's up? What's up? Banya, what's up? What's up? Yaradon, come up for a second just to hold it down.
Shalom, Mark.
Hey, Shalom, gang. How about you? How about it?
Yeah, about you, man. Sorry about that.
Shalom.
We in like Flynn?
Yeah,
Shalom,
Good.
baby.
niggas in the other room
Shalom.
playing
Shalom.
Nike.
Y'all Bashim, y'all Shabrak down.
Yeah, how
Nikes
about
in
what's up?
the room, man.
Hey, Salakia. I just thought about something. I was still in the Christian church when it came to my mind, but I thought about it. I stopped rocking Jordans because it's got number 23 on it, and it just reminded me. It just reminded me of the whole 2/3 concept. So because of that, I don't even rock Jordans no more.
Oh,
Am I being
man.
overrated for doing that?
Absolutely, bro.
Man.
What?
God.
There's
Man.
nothing There's nothing inherently wicked about a number. Like that don't make sense, bro.
Starting to get
It
spooky.
Hey, hey,
the only
hey,
thing
hey,
I can
check this
say
out. What
is
about those who go to Starbucks and buy coffee? Well, the Starbucks symbol is the ancient
Bro,
god
Starbucks, bro,
Ishtar.
Starbucks,
Got
bro, Starbucks smack. That what is it? The
The
mocha cookie
Cyrene.
crumble frappe? Mocha cookie
Hold on,
crumble
who said
frappe
something about
smack,
my
bro.
I
Starbucks?
can say one
I don't
thing
know.
about
Well, oh,
Starbucks.
no,
Them
I'm
niggas
just
is
saying
lazy.
that symbol is the goddess Ishtar, though.
No,
So you want to support that
I
business?
isn't that
I'm not
a C
worshiping it.
Cyrene or something?
I'm not worshiping it. Like if you around me, this is where the wisdom of Paul comes in, right? If you around me, I won't buy it. But if I'm on my lonely, I'm wearing my Jordan ones, unlaced. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
Hey
got
man,
Jordans
cats,
They
on
cats
got
right
just
now,
they
ain't.
bro.
Hey,
they
some
got
cats just
that
ain't never
idol
had
on
no
there
And
though.
me
They
swag,
and
man.
got
me
the
and
They'll
idol
get
on
it.
it.
Ariala, check it out. Me
The
and
Lord they
Ariala
dealing
gonna
with, they
eat
gonna
some
be burnt.
Starbucks. You heard? I got you, Ariala. I'm gonna
Bruh,
pay for you.
bruh.
Starbucks sucks. I used to work at
All right,
Starbucks.
throw this
Starbucks
nigga
has the
down.
worst
Throw this
coffee.
nigga down real quick, and we can
Stop,
bring him back.
stop drinking Starbucks.
So what you want me to drink?
Starbucks is
Dunkin' Donuts?
terrible.
So
I
go back
second
to
that
the
motion.
Nikes that Chief was talking about. Use the same concept with the Nikes
Hold on,
because
I'm about to
you're literally
debate.
have to
I'm
buy
about
the
to debate
clothes.
Ariala real quick. What you want me to drink? Dunkin' Donuts?
What?
Nah,
What?
I'm not saying drink Dunkin' Donuts. Listen,
Dunkin' Donuts is popping.
I
Nah,
source my
Chief
own
Ephraim,
green
come on, man.
beans. I source my own green beans and I roast my own coffee. Okay, I don't
Nah,
drink
listen, nah,
Starbucks.
I got you. Listen, nah, but that's not the question. Like, I do the same thing. I literally just finished making coffee. You feel me?
No,
So I
I
got you.
roast
That's way
coffee.
better.
I roast coffee like from green.
You a technical ass nigga.
I,
Yo, Starbucks get
bro,
black people arrested. Starbucks get black people arrested. You can't go into Starbucks
I
no
don't
more.
know, Ariala. I don't know, man. You
And
just a
Starbucks
cook.
racist as
That's what it
hell,
is.
man.
He a cook. So I get it.
Maybe that's a sign that we should stay out of there.
All right, we getting bougie now. We getting
So
bougie
racist.
now.
Ahmad, you that dude that don't even turn on the lights in the Sabbath. You stay in the
Nah,
house with the lights off.
nah, it ain't that serious, huh? Oh,
Uh-uh.
Salakia. That brings a question in my mind. It's kind of funny, right? What if the lights go out on the Sabbath? We're not supposed to kindle a fire. What you gonna do about light? Use your cell phone
Flashlight.
or flashlight? Yeah, yeah. God.
You're
Generator.
not going, bro. You're not going to kindle a fire anyway. What you gonna start a fire in the middle of your house?
No,
Exactly, right?
What the hell?
because
Light the fire.
Let
when
me
you put
Hey,
a
light the
lot
fire.
of candle, you're killing the fire right there. It's a small kindling, but it's still killing a fire.
No, no,
okay,
no,
okay, let
no.
me ask you a question. When you
Blood
use
Ariala's
the
about to
bath
call
drive.
his phone right
when
now.
you when you use the bathroom on the Sabbath, I hope you flush the toilet.
Of course, that's not work, bro.
You don't supposed to flush the toilet?
Yeah, a lot of these acidic
Nah,
and they don't flush
I
the
ain't talking
toilet,
about
man.
nothing like that. Everything I said was scripture. There's a scripture that says, "Thou shalt not kindle a fire on the Sabbath." I ain't. They don't say nothing about no flushing on the toilet. Come on.
Yeah, that don't make sense. That's true.
So then that's just
Yo,
like
they don't
saying,
even touch. They don't even touch the elevator buttons on the Sabbath. The elevator automatically goes into automatic mode where it stops on every floor.
Yeah,
what building
Amalek
that
be bugging
in?
any next week, y'all.
Right.
Huh?
What building?
It must be in one of
Nah,
Amalek's buildings.
I went. Yeah, I went
Yeah,
to Israel, and that's how
Amalek
they
be
have it
doing
set up
that.
in Israel.
Oh, okay.
Amalek be on that hard body.
Yeah, that's how they have the elevator set up in Israel. On the Sabbath, it goes into automatic mode,
So
and
I'm saying,
it stops on every floor.
so what we supposed to do? Take the
They
stairs?
want you to. They don't even touch the door. Like if they gotta open the
Yeah.
door, they don't even open the door. They try to get somebody to open the door for
Well,
them.
that's on. See,
Yeah,
here's the thing about
that's
Amalek,
being
right?
ridiculous.
Amalek, first and foremost, even if someone you have a higher servant, or if you have a, let's say, what is this guy doing? If you have a higher servant or you have a slave, they're not supposed to be working on when it's your Shabbat. So what Amalek will do is they'll hire you to come turn off the lights and do this that, and the third and open doors and shit like the Hasidics. But that even in itself is unlawful. But so the idea that using an elevator on the Sabbath day is somehow work or unlawful is bullshit. That's some damn Talmudic nonsense that they made up.
Yeah, that's how they do it, man. When you go into Israel, when on the Sabbath day, all of the elevators stop on every floor.
Salakia. When I came in the truth, I was working at a Jewish nursing home, and just hearing you guys talk about this, it made me want to share with the room on the Shabbat, how it says, "Thou shalt not kindle a fire." What they do is they light the fire from Friday evening before the sun go down, and leave it burning all the way through Saturday. So technically, they're not kindling the fire since it was already kindled.
Con. So I got a question. So you saying if you live on, like, let's say you live on the 46th floor, you about to be in this elevator and stop 45 times before you get to your floor.
Well,
Mad
you
as
you're
hell.
you're lucky. You're
Yes.
lucky if you get it going up. You're gonna stop 45 times. But if you get it going down, you got to go back all the way down from whatever floor to go all the way back up. That's the way it is.
Oh,
And let me tell you something else about how Amalek rules in Israel. So they have a law that you're not supposed to raise pigs on the land in Israel. So what they do, they have pig farms, but they build it so that the pigs are like up on a platform, so it's not on the ground. Yeah, they got all kind of loopholes for all kind of stuff over there, man.
they put the pigs on the pedestal. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Hey, Salaki, what he just said, his brother
They
just
even
said,
they even got kosher
Kadash?
cigarettes.
Yeah, what Kadash just said was pretty interesting. Is that being righteous over much, or let me ask it different. Is that allowed? Because technically it would be right.
Is what allowed?
When the brother was saying something about lighting the candle before the Shabbat and leaving it burning, you're technically not killing it on the Shabbat,
Yeah,
which
that's
actually
that's
is
that's
correct.
fine. That's You're not supposed to kindle a fire on the Shabbat. You're
I
not
mean, in other
so
words, don't start. So don't start a
yes.
fire on the Shabbat.
Yes, you do not start a fire on the Shabbat.
Right. You could
Okay.
keep the fire burning if even your oven. You could keep the oven on low if you want. You ain't started. You could keep the oven on low till you get home. Just don't start the fire. The same thing
Okay.
with if you're if you started a bonfire, you out in the woods, we in the wilderness, and we start. All you gotta do is keep the wood going in. The fire been burning. You see what I'm saying? You just adding to it. You're not starting the fire. And the sacrifices of the priests and the temples, they were continuous. That fire never stopped.
All right. You're right. You're right. That
So
makes
they never.
that makes more sense now, man. Because, boy, I tell you, it can get real difficult when you overthink it. But sometimes you just had questions to make sure we're not going outside of the bounds Most High gave us.
Shalakia. Shalakia.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so when you drive your car, you know them pistons is firing up that engine. It's fire coming out them pistons. So we can't drive cars on Sabbath.
Amalek says that.
That's where
Amalek
the
believe electricity is fire.
Well,
right. That's where over righteousness comes in. You know, you got to use wisdom in things like you don't need to eat a hot meal on the Sabbath. You don't. A lot of niggas need to lose weight anyway in Israel. You know what I'm saying? They big as hell and act like they can't go one day with just eating a salad or eating some fruit, eating some tuna fish, eating a little cold cut sandwich. Niggas just they gotta eat a goddamn full course meal every day. There's them gluttonous fat bastards that we have in the truth, man and woman.
God.
Sharp are you?
God.
Well, we done. You go ahead and open up the room, or do your introduction statement.
Kind of give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, this nigga, Billy Porter. This is not his first time doing this shit, man. Him and some other little boy, some white boy. I think it's Harry Styles. Yo, they pushing this. I remember, Young Thug was doing it too. They pushing this men's dresses.
I remember when Young Thug was doing it.
Yeah, so it's dresses for men, and this nigga look like he going to the ball or something.
I don't know who Bobby Porter is. I never heard of the fella. But I am aware of Young Thug doing it. Don't agree with it, but I'm aware that he did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Billy Porter. It's Billy Porter, Harry Styles, Young Thug, and somebody else. I gotta remember the It's a specific like
You talking
brand
Jaden
that they
Smith?
push out. Huh?
Jaden Smith? He does that too a lot.
Oh yeah, Jaden Smith did it. They do it in the Net Gala where they bring out all these weird damn clothes and brand ideas and stuff like that. This place is coming to an end when the women, they want to wear men's clothes and the damn men want to wear women's clothes,
I
trying to
just
blur the lines of gender.
I just had a conversation with a female about that, man. Like everything I wear, she like, I like that shirt. I like that shirt. Can I have it? I like them pants. Like everything. I'm like, I don't like nothing you wear. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you like everything I got. Like, it's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not for you. It's crazy.
That's that you get that ever since the women's right movement, because my my mom was always telling me about how TLC was big on it too. How
Kind,
and singer groups, they start wearing men clothes. I think TLC, they used to have
baggy.
the overalls and shit on. My
Yep,
mom used to go to school with the overalls with the condom on her eye.
yep, with the jerseys on and
Yeah, he used to put the jerseys on and shit. Yeah, it was just wearing man shit. Like, the Edomite women were wearing straight tuxedos and shit. That was straight for men. And yeah, that's you get all that from the women empowerment movement. You don't see none of that shit before that.
kind.
Hey, Salakia, y'all. Let me just set this young one up with his little apple juice, and then I'll be ready.
And I think
Kwame
that
Asharala.
you know what I'm saying. like with the probably with the heathen people, you know what I'm saying, wearing Jordans. I mean wearing, you know what I'm saying, New Balances and Skechers might not be uh as what's the word I'm looking for, as they're not gonna look at you the
Grippy.
same. They're not gonna look at you the same as they're gonna look at people with Jordans on and the Nikes, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like a lot of people around us. If we not in this truth, we gonna go with what, you know what I'm saying, everybody else doing, because we want to be with everybody. You know what I'm saying. So it's different.
Yo, Shalakia, I
Listen,
got a question. I got a question. I don't know if anybody of you know about it. I saw a video with a Edomite, and she did not have a belly button, didn't have a navel. Are people doing surgeries to remove belly buttons now, or how is that even possible?
Just probably born like that.
How the hell could you be born like that? That's how you get fed as a
Right.
baby while you're in your
You know,
mother's stomach.
people do that thing where they don't cut the umbilical cord from the placenta; they let it fall off, so it don't, with the innie and the outie, it just probably fall off, and it makes her have a straight stomach.
But even if it falls off, it should still leave a mark or a scar or something.
Yeah, your belly button is a result of your navel falling off naturally or them taking it off. If she doesn't have a belly button, she probably had that shit removed. Like that's not natural, or unless that's like it doesn't even like even like a mutation that doesn't make sense because again, how was she nourished in her mother's stomach if she didn't have a umbilical cord connected to her stomach? So that doesn't make sense.
I had a Salakia. I had a cousin who had a like a really outy navel. Maybe they had just extra skin that kind of like hide the scar or something, or just flap it over and just make it look good. I don't know.
Slovakia. I think that might be a result of women doing the tummy tucks when they get surgery. A lot of the times, they reposition the skin to fit the belly button. In maybe her case, she might have not wanted her belly button to be seen, so that might be the case.
Now, I'm looking at it now. They said it's either surgery or a medical condition. So either she was born with an abnormality or she had it surgically removed. It's either or.
That should look crazy when I saw. It. I was like, how the hell is that even possible?
All right,
Oh shit! It says
Shalom.
strange but true. Babies born with no belly button. That's some weird shit. The
Yeah,
intestines or
hold on,
indomitable.
That's these
hold on,
artificial babies they coming out.
hold on, Archie.
No, it says something about their intestines.
Before we go down the rabbit hole of belly buttons, let's start the lesson.
Okay, come.
All right, Kwame Yasha man. This is a presentation of HOI to the Chariots Fly, right? This is partly a kosher brunch, but this is more of a lesson than a discussion. But brothers could chime in, ask questions, participate, etc., etc. From the breakdown I got from my elders at HOI, which the breakdown they got from the elders of One West, we teach that this is Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations, and they want us to take on masculine roles only if we're feminine, and take on feminine roles only when we're masculine. This is the author of confusion. This is the mother of harlots and abomination. This is the land of Babel. So us at HOY, we teach Deuteronomy 22 and 5, thus so that women shall not wear anything that pertains to a man, and the man not put on a woman's garment, right? Because we do have verses in the Bible, you know, that says a man shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew. But we understand that word right there, it mostly means garment, not like a dress, like how this dude got on, right? Billy Porter, and all praises to the Most High God, he got HIV now. All praise to the Most High God. He gave him a recompense for his unnatural affection and gave this damn man HIV, right? Plagued him with the a disease that Esau said is uncurable. And Billy Porter not gonna get cured because the Most High God gave him that for his wicked ways, right? The scriptures talk about this place is called Babylon the Great. Can someone give me that? 17:5, Revelation 17:5. I got a read on deck or no?
Do do we have a reader? If not, I'll go grab it. I'm in my basement. I just got to run
I,
upstairs.
I read Shalom, Mark. I got it.
Con praises.
Anything you want next? I'll find that.
Yeah. I'm gonna start off with um Revelation 17:5. Then I'm gonna go to Isaiah 1:8,
Con.
1:9, and then I'm gonna go to Romans just to show that it's consistent in the Bible that the Most High God doesn't want men to act effeminate or women to act masculine.
This the book of Revelations, chapter 17, verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
Right? This is the mother of harlots and abominations. What they breed har- What else do they breed? They breed abominations. Right? Who else know what abomination of the Lord is? Let's get the book of Leviticus.
Chapter verse.
Chapter 20, verse 23.
Con. And ye shall not walk in the manners of the nations
Salak,
which I.
yeah. 22 and 18.
All right. And if man shall lie with a woman having her sickness, and shall uncover her
That's
nakedness.
22 and 18.
My bad, brother. This is Leviticus 22 and 18. Speak unto Aaron and to his sons, and unto all the children of Israel, and say unto them, whatsoever he be of the house of Israel, or the strangers in Israel, that will offer his obligation for all his vows, and
Nah, that's
for
not it. That's not it. Salakia, y'all. I'm at 18 and 22.
Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is
Right?
abomination.
This is the mother of harlots and abominations, right? Where men lie with men as if they are women. Men and women cannot be mistaken for each other. You cannot lie with a man like you would lie with a woman. You cannot treat a man how you could treat a woman. You could love a man. You could love thy neighbor as thyself. We all should know that David loved Jonathan, but you cannot love a man as you would love a woman. Those type of things are an abomination. Now let me get Leviticus 20 and 13, King. Baruch Kasha.
Leviticus 20 and 18,
I said 13, King. The water.
20 and 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
So they shall surely be put to death, and their blood shall be upon them, right? Because it's an abomination for a man to lie with a woman. It's an abomination for a man to lie with a man as if he lied with a woman. It's actually completely normal for a man to lie with a woman. Let's get that Leviticus 21 and 13. Let's look at the difference between 20 and 13 and 21 and 13.
Leviticus. 21 and 13.
Con.
And he shall take a wife in her virginity. Continue.
Yeah, right? That's what it says. You shall take a wife in her virginity. Right? That was mainly for the Levitical priests. But guess what? You see the difference? Y'all peep that difference, right? If you lie with a man, which happened in a chapter before, the same verse with a chapter before, chapter 20. If you lie with that man as you're supposed to lie with a woman, you get put to death. But a whole chapter later, right, on 21 and 13, is telling a man to take a virgin for a wife. And sometimes the word virgin could go into just a young woman, but from my understanding, that verse means both. Okay?
Uh,
Right? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans understand there's a certain spirit why Babylon pushed during the women's movement, during the women's liberation movement, during the whole feminist movement. There's a reason why Babylon the Great pushed your women to wear pants. They want the turning of things upside down, right? Let me get that in the book of Romans, King.
Book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 8. And the daughter of Zion is left as cottage in a vineyard, as lodge in a garden of cucumbers.
That
And
is
as
that's Isaiah.
my bad, brother, my bad.
Nah, read on that anyway. I was gonna get to that anyway. Might as well read it now. That's probably the spirit.
All right. And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Verse 9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah.
You see that? If the Lord of hosts didn't leave us a small remnant, we would be like Sodom and Gomorrah, man. And that's what you're seeing right now in this very day. Because there's nothing new underneath the sun. Isaiah seen it. Now we're seeing it, right? Men loving men, wanting to be women. Women wanting to be men. Whether y'all believe it or not, there's a whole masculine energy that comes upon a woman when she throws on jeans or pants. There's a whole masculine energy behind that. It's actually a warrior's energy, and we're gonna get into that. That spirit of throwing on pants is a warlike spirit. It's a hard working spirit. It's a masculine spirit, and the Most High God does not want that because He is not the author of confusion. Now let's get Isaiah. Since you in Isaiah, get Isaiah 3 and 9.
Isaiah 3 and 9. The shoe of their con- con- countenance doth witness
The
against
show of
them. And they declare,
countenance, the show of their countenance, right? How they look, how they moving, right? The energy they giving off, the expressions they're making, the body language, right? The show of their countenance does witness against them, right? Read on.
their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their souls, for they have rewarded evil unto
And this
themselves.
how they rewarded evil unto themselves. The show of their countenance does witness against them, does witness against them. They declare the sin of Sodom and they hide it not. Right? Look at Billy Porter. He declares his sin is Sodom. This man want to be a fairy godmother. How you got a brother that want to be a godmother? It's confusion. And what they do with every so-called black man that gets successful, they want to put him in a dress and effeminize him. But in the reverse, what they gonna do to a woman? How they gonna make a woman more masculine? What they gonna do? It's a feminize a man. They make sure that he puts on a dress. What they're gonna do to a woman to masculate them?
Make her put pants on.
Make her put some pants on. The agenda is not hard to see. The reasoning behind Deuteronomy 22:5 is not hard to see. It's not hard to see. This is why brothers teach that women shouldn't wear pants. It comes with a masculine energy and a homosexual undertone. Right? Let's get the book of Romans.
Chapter verse.
Chapter 1 to start at verse 20.
Book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 20. For this cause God, sorry. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the word are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse.
Right? There's no excuse for any type of behavior contrary to the Most High God. Read on.
Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were they thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart that was darkened.
They became vain in their foolish heart, which was darkened, man. Right? A bunch of people out here with foolish hearts and becomes dark. And that allows Satan to put on you a lot of perversion, man. Read on.
Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. And chapter verse 23. And they changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible men, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Read on.
Read.
Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
Con. Um, Read on that because it's something I'm trying to get to. What verse you in?
I'm verse 25.
Yeah, read that.
Who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen.
Right now you're worshiping creatures more than the creator. The creator made you to be a man. The creator made you to be a woman. Right? Your gender has to deal with genitalia, right? That's the etymology that goes into that word. Your gender goes into your genitalia. You were born with that. You wasn't born a man and then 5 years later you decide to be a woman, right? Or even if it's 20 years later, 50 years later, right? Like Brucey Bruce. The Most High God ain't dealing with that. He made you a man, stay a man. Read on.
For verse 6. For this cause God gave them up into vile affections. For even their women did change their natural use into that which is against nature. Verse 27. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the women, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which
Recompense,
was
that
met.
recompense in their error, which is meek, right? The recompense for Billy Porter being a damn sodomite, I'm about to get it for y'all. His recompense, he got hit with HIV. I'm about to bring that out right now, man. Hey,
So,
are you there? Hey, Yin, are you there?
Con. Yeah, man.
All right, kind.
so
Somebody
basically, you
just
saying
argue.
Billy Porter knew better?
What'd you say?
So you saying Billy Porter knew better?
Yeah, he knew better. I'm sure he had a mama that told him he was a boy when he was growing up. And I'm sure he had people that chastised him for being homosexual. But yeah, I'm about to post another article, and yeah, I'm gonna want you to just read it right quick. See, all this is building up, my beloved brethren, is so y'all could get the sense of what the agenda is, just so y'all could peep the scene and see what Babylon is pushing. They're pushing effeminate men and masculine women. This is the reason why you have pants on. Don't tell me no Israelite foremother that had pants on. A brother got to pull a scripture on that. A sister will have to pull a scripture to show me how an Israelite ancestor like really rocked out in pants. Now even Harriet Tubman did that, and she was going through the swamp. Y'all gotta chill. I never seen any Gadite women wear pants at their powwows. My grandmother never wore pants. Y'all gotta chill, right? Because this is a doctrine of devils, man.
Con, you ready for me to read it?
Yeah, read the title.
The title says Billy Porter breaks a 14-year silence. This is what HIV this is what HIV positive looks like.
Right.
Keep reading. You just wanted the title? All right, well I'll read some more. I'm gonna go to the link.
Yeah, I want you to read the title and then go to the link.
Con. So it says Billy Porter breaks a 14-year silence. This is what HIV positive looks like now. For the first time since beginning diagnosis more than a decade ago. Wow. The Post Star opens up about the shame that compelled him to hide his condition from his castmates, collaborators, and even his mother, and they responsibly and the responsibility that now has him speaking out. The truth is the healing by Lacey Rose.
Salakia, y'all. So this damn booty bandit, right, was hiding the fact he had HIV for 14 years. But they want to put him on Sesame Street. They want to make him a fairy godmother. They want to promote him amongst our youth at the Met Gala. All for what? To try to influence the youth to follow him. But if the youth know, like, yo, this dude got HIV because his lifestyle, you think they really following him now? But he wanted to use him as an agenda. An agenda. Y'all got to peep the agenda, man. That's the reason why he hit it, because he knew he was supposed to be part of the agenda. That agenda to make our women more masculine and our men more effeminate. Read on that.
Con. Billy Porter takes a long, deep breath. Quotation. After start in 2007, he says, having settled in across the table, he hears a little owl in a West Village to get something off his chest. Something has been shrouding in secrecy so long he can barely remember life before. In June of that year, he continues, a ball of nerves, even if he performed in him refute even if the performer in him refuses to let on. I was diagnosed HIV positive. In the 14 years since, the Emmy winning star of Pose has told next to no one, fearing marginalization and retaliation and an industry that hasn't always been kind to him. Instead, the 51-year-old who has cultivated a fervent fan base in the recent years
A
on the base.
51-year-old that cultivated a fervent fan base. You see that? What is this 50-year-old homosexual man doing on Sesame Street? What is he doing playing a fairy godmother? A 50-year-old man, a 50-year-old homosexual man. What is he doing? What is he doing? For real, like what is the purpose? I read on that.
Who has cultivated a fervent fan base based in recent years on the basis of his talent and authenticity, says he's been using Pray Tell, his HIV character on a what FX series, as his proxy. I was able to say everything that I wanted to say through a surrogate. He reveals acknowledgement that nobody involved with the show had any idea he was drawing from his own life. Now, as the Peabody Award winning series, a ball scene drama set against the backdrop of the AIDS crisis concludes its third and final season, Porter is preparing for what's next. There's a memoir over which he agonized and blown deadlines set for later this year, a Netflix documentary about his life, which will keep him in business with Post co creator Ryan Murphy. At 2021, takes on Cinderella, in which he'll play the fairy godmother, a directional debut, a host of new music, and much, much more. But the Broadway trained actor, who is an Oscar shy of an EGOT, isn't interested in entering the next phase of his life and career with the shame that trailed him for more than a decade. So Murphy, by his side for support and a cadre of documentary cameras hovering above, Porter tells his story. An edited version follows. Having lived through the plague, my question always, why was I spared? Why am I living? Well, I'm living so that I can tell the story. There's a whole generation that was here, and I stand on their shoulders. I can be who I am in this space at this time because of the legacy that they left for me. So it's time to put my big boy pants on and talk. But he advocates for man dresses. Well, I was the
Yeah,
generation.
he said he want to put on his big boy pants, but he got on dresses. What a contradiction, right? Man, enough of that damn fairy, and enough of that bag of Skittles, man.
And that's sick as hell, bro. That's
Yeah,
sick.
he's gonna be the fairy godmother for Cinderella. And he's gonna be the fairy godmother for Cinderella. And you know what's crazy? Him and Harry Styles and even Jaden Smith, I gotta remember this specific clothing brand. No, they pushing, either gender neutral clothes or non-gender conforming clothes or just alternate gender clothes. Like his dresses are non-gender conforming or they're dresses for men. So a lot of these dresses he got on, it's a dress, and you would think, oh well, damn, this looks very feminine. Like when he went to the red when he went to go on a red carpet and walk, he had a dress, but it looked like a man's suit. That's a dress for a man. Now, I know that nobody in my camp is gonna put no damn dress for men and smack some fringes on it and be on my line.
Right. Nah, this a man's dress. Nah, it's not. So I think we should get back into the scriptures, right? All right? Let's get Deuteronomy 22:5.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5. This is Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5. Thou, so like it, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Abomination, man. Right? Why is that an abomination? What have we been getting into? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. What have we been getting into? We've been getting into what? Women trying to take the place of men, feminine becoming masculine, and masculine becoming feminine. Women try to usurp authority over men and rule over men. That's why that phrase is a proverb of the world, but it's a very wise proverb. It says, you know what I'm saying? Who wears the pants in the family? Who wears the pants? Yeah.
Kind, that's it. But I got a preset to
Now
back you
read
up.
it again.
Kind. This is Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5. The woman shall not wear that pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Right. So why is people being called abominations right here? Because you got to understand that the Most High God set up the order from the beginning. Right. Adam's supposed to lead Eve, not Eve lead Adam. A lot of people got to look for leadership qualities when they're choosing a mate. Leadership qualities is very, very important. As a man of the Lord, you should always lead.
Kind, I got precept. This is Isaiah chapter 29 verse 16. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? So you see, with the LGBTQ movement, they're trying to blur the lines. Oh, well, you can't give this child a gender at birth because it's non-gender conforming. It doesn't matter if it has male parts or female parts. You can't gender this child because you can misgender it. But the child was formed in the mother's womb a male or a female. So now they're saying, oh, this is wrong. Same thing when it comes to clothes. Men been wearing pants for thousands of years. Women have been wearing dresses for thousands of years. And now, just in a couple of decades, the clothes don't even mean the same thing. It used to be you walk to a store for women, you can clearly see feminine clothes. You walk into the store for men, you can clearly see masculine clothes. But now you see stuff like with I remember when Uggs was just for women. And now men hop on it. Now the Uggs is for men. So now you see all what they call it, gender neutral, gender neutral clothes, gender neutral jewelry. You start to see these things. They're flipping all these things upside down. The fairy godmother, Billy Porter is going to play. Not only was the fairy godmother supposedly a white woman, but he's gonna play the fairy godmother. He's a strong black man. And then his article, he's gonna say he's gonna put his big boy pants on, but he likes advocating dresses for men.
Yo, King, Shalakia, are you saying soon we're going to go to stores and there's not going to be a men's section or a women's section?
Yeah, you know Lil Uzi Vert, right? Lil Uzi Vert. You can look it up on the internet. A lot of his clothes, he don't even wear men clothes. He wear female clothes. Right, you be looking at him like, damn, what is he wearing? Like some of the stuff he wear, even though it look, he, you know, it look weird. He goes into the women's section and buys female clothes. Literally, he goes into the women's section and buys female clothes. So they're going to start blurring the lines of what masculine clothes or feminine clothes are.
Like the
This
reason
is
why I made this
crazy.
room, it's like I'm gonna let you go right now, Shemaya. The reason why I made this room because the lines are already blurred. Look at it, Shemaya.
And
I
after
mean,
that, I go into
the wickedest thing I could think of what you just brought up, man, is that in a few years, our kids are going to literally, kids got to do research on whether the person they're about to try to court or marry was born a female or born a male. So in a couple of years, Dwayne Wade's son, 10 years from now, hopefully we don't stay that long in this wicked place, man. And the chariots come. But, God forbid, 25 years from now, 10 years from now, when this guy or girl or whatever he's going to be is going to be on that market now, are the people who he's going to be dating think he was born a female? It's wicked as hell. They're gonna
uh,
probably put a womb inside of him too.
that's what they trying to do, huh?
That's what they trying to do,
And
huh?
they got young boys right now who are on estrogen as soon as they get turned like 13 and they grow into straight, you know, they're already looking grown as hell. They're probably like 20, 24, 25, around my age, grown as hell, looking like straight women because they were put on hormones at a very young age. I remember that was big in the transgender room. You seen a lot of these transgenders talking about how at a young age they either castrated or they were put on hormones at a young age. But I wanted to get into the Hebrew word gabar in Deuteronomy 22 and 5. And I'm gonna let Shalpar deal with uh Deuteronomy 22 and 5. Is that good? After Shalpar, you there?
Yeah, Khan King. Yeah, read Deuteronomy 22 and 5 again, and then we're gonna go into what is the men apparel in that verse.
Kind of. This is Deuteronomy 22 and 5. And it says, "The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
So when we go into the Strongs, right? A lot of brothers say, well, it says warrior there. It don't say men apparel. It says warrior apparel. Con,
God.
right? Because when you go there, it does say gabar. If I'm not mistaken, let me double check. It does say gabar. Con, right? But did we have any female warriors back then?
No.
Xena, warrior princess.
Who Wonder Woman? I know Judith. Judith cut a nigga head off, right?
But she wasn't a warrior.
She did it in a dress too.
And she did it in a dress, right? Actually, she did it looking beautiful, right? Rocked homeboy to sleep. Rockabye, baby, right? Rocked him to sleep. My understanding is that though, when it says gabar as in warrior apparel, it still means something that a man would wear to war. It still means something that a man would wear, period. Like it doesn't change the meaning of this law because it says gabar. Because in the beginning of this law, what does it say in the Hebrew where it says the woman? What word is that?
The word in the Hebrew for the woman where it says a woman shall not wear is Aisha,
Is what?
wife. Aisha, woman, wife.
Yeah. Well, oh, did you know that it said woman right there or wife right there instead of woman? You did, y'all all? Y'all all probably busy right now. Yeah, but it says wife right there. So it says a wife shall not wear what pertains to a warrior. That's the way. That's the sense of it we should get. If we just go by what the Hebrew says and not get the sense of it, like what all that getting, you got to get understanding because it says wife right there when in the English it says woman, and it says warrior when it says men. Because what's the ultimate masculine trait of a man? He's a warrior. What's the ultimate feminine trait for a woman? She's a wife. So it still means man and woman at the end of the day. Because men cannot be wives and women cannot be warriors.
And Salaki, I got more precepts to back up that Gabar. Gabar is not only pertaining to a warrior. Every time the scripture says Gabar, do you think it's going to mean warrior?
Nah, it doesn't necessarily mean warrior. It means something that is masculine.
Khan.
Because
Shemaiah, can
hold
you?
on, hold on, King, because I want to really dig in deep before we move from here. Because when brothers break down Deuteronomy 22:5, they said, oh, it says gabar there, so that means that women could wear pants, right? But what if that, you know what I'm saying? All because a woman could wear pants, according to that, pants are war apparel. Let me say this again. Pants are war apparel, right? Brothers had on garments and tunics back then. What brothers did, brothers used to gird up their loins to the point where your garment was turned into shorts or AKA short pants. And I'm about to bring out that article right quick. Pants are warrior apparel.
Khan. And when you look, even during Egypt, when you look at the statues or um, the little clay carvings that they have of the Egyptian army during the time, their soldiers or warriors would have linen skirts or linen wrapping skirts that they were wrapped. So if you look at Egyptian soldiers at that time, where they would have a tunic or a skirt, but they would wrap it like it shows you illustrated in girding up your loins. So they were wrap it, but they'll also, when you go into the law, men wore breeches. So they weren't free
That was
balling under there. They had breeches.
Yeah, they were not free balling on there. They wasn't just swanging everywhere for the children of Israel to see. You know what I'm saying?
Salakia. They also had to wear breeches in the temple because remember, the priest was climbing on the altars. They was climbing all over the place, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the priestly duties. You know, priests had to keep the temple clean. You know, they was doing work. So now here you go, the priest bending over to light the incense on the goddamn altar, and just you know what I'm saying. You see the sack just swinging back and forth. Nah, that's why the breeches kept it in place. That's what breeches was for, to keep your joints from showing and to keep your joints intact. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was definitely heavy especially in the temple for the priests. You know, because they was putting in work in the temple. Yeah,
I
Con,
got that precept.
hold
It's
on, King.
Exodus 28.
Hold on, King. Because, like I'm saying, we got to get really the sense of this law, right? Because when it says Isha, of course, the translators, who is much better in the Hebrew than me, they got the sense of the law and said, okay, the Most High God doesn't want any masculine clothes on a woman or an effeminate clothes unto a man. Because when it goes back and say, neither shall a man wear a woman's garment, does that mean that only a warrior cannot wear a wife's garment? What if I'm not a warrior? Well, let's say if I'm a farmer, right? Let's say if I'm a shepherd, like David. Could David wear a wife's garment when he was just a shepherd boy? Because it says neither can a man wear a woman's garment. It says Gabar again, then it says Isha, which means wife. So can a shepherd wear a wife's garment? Can a farmer wear a wife's garment? Can a priest wear a wife's garment? Or that only goes to the warrior? Let's not be the author of confusion, guys. When brothers go into the Hebrew and point out that Gabar, you also got to point out that Isha and have them give the sense for real. With that I yield. Go ahead, again, yeah.
Con, I just want to back up, Chief, with Exodus 28 and 42, where it says, and thou shalt make them linen breeches that cover their nakedness from the loin even unto the thigh they shall reach. Right? So they had breeches or shorts or, in a sense, pants. So they went all the way to the knee or to the thigh. So they had shorts right under their tunic. So you'll see that. That's what men will have. So they'll cover their loins or they'll cover their undergarments. So they won't see nothing or they wouldn't be naked under there. Also, when you go into Gabar, for example, with Gabar, every time you see Gabar, it doesn't mean warrior. It doesn't mean warrior. And I can give you examples of that. Is that okay, Sharpar?
Yeah, before you do that though, that last verse you read, go into the Strongs and see the Hebrew word for loins, because I think it says mama thun.
Con.
Because the meaning the meaning of breeches was to cover up the mama thun, right? And if y'all don't know what we're talking about, we're talking about the male principle, the male privy part.
And Salakia, real quick, don't forget, we gotta the women were supposed to be modest and modest apparel. So just keep that in mind with the masculine and then the modesty. All right, keep the two in mind.
Yeah, we're gonna get onto that too. But I want to just focus on, you know, the reason why the Most High made the linen breeches. That was to cover up the loins, right? And you go into Hebrew. What is the Hebrew word for loins right there?
Kansalaki. The Hebrew word for loins or nakedness. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So like it the Strongs. So it says loins, Strong's 49, verse 75, Mosin, loins, or,
More thin or mama thun in the ancient Hebrew, King.
yeah.
So we as Hebrews, we know what mama thun is. That is your rod. That is the middle principle, right? So brothers got to really get around that. That the linen breeches, right, which goes into breeches, which eventually became pants, right? Those are made to cover up the loins or the mama thun or your male principle. This why to this very day, pants what mainly have zippers in the front to let out your mama thun. Let it do its job and release the urine, then put it back in.
But what about if the zipper's on the side or the back?
Then that is a unordinate and weird pair of breeches, and that's also strange apparel.
God.
Con,
And
con.
real quick, I just want to bring this out, right? Now, let's say there's women pants, right? They make the women pants, the women breeches now. I don't know what the hell they girding up, but they got the women breeches. You got the zippers on the side, you got the zippers on the back. So there's only two types of pants that a woman can wear, right? Technically, it'll be something very tight or something baggy. So now you're gonna be very tight and you're gonna show your all your assets out, right? You're gonna show the camel toe and all that other stuff. Now, if you don't wear them tight, you got baggy pants looking like crisscross. Now you look like a tomboy. So either way is a lose-lose situation. And they got dresses. They got pants that got dresses connected to them. And all the women that and all the people that talk about women can wear pants, I never see no woman walking around with the pants with the dress around them. Why they don't wear that? There's something strange about that apparel and about that doctrine and the people that push that shit. It is what it is. There's something strange about it. But go
And,
ahead.
and and thing is, Billy Porter wearing that, you know what I'm saying, the pants with the dresses around it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I get it, 100%.
Kind of, yeah, yeah. Go into what you was going into. If you didn't lose your train of thought.
Can somebody get me Job 3 and 3?
Brother Notice, Brother K. All right, Brother K got it. Go
Con.
ahead.
Said that's Job, right? 3 and 3.
Con. Yo,
Yeah, Job, Job.
Job, yep, got you. Let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said, there is a man child conceived.
All right, so in the English it says that there be a man child conceived. Remember that. I'm gonna go into Hebrew. It says a male child, but it's Gabar. So when Job came out as a baby, he was a warrior? Can somebody make sense of that? Job comes out as a child. He was a warrior.
He came out of
Uh,
his mama with a sword in his hand, huh?
yeah, yeah. I guess he was 20 years old too, because you can't be a warrior and turn 20 years old. So that don't make no sense. What makes sense is, oh, it just means male child. Just means he's a male, right? I'm gonna give you another one.
Con.
So like it, get me numbers. Where is that? I must have lost it. No, so like it, give me Exodus 12. Give me Exodus 12 and 37.
Exodus 12 and 27.
Kind of Exodus 12. So like yeah, I think let me look. It is. It is actually start at 35.
Con. This is Exodus 12 and 35. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses. And they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver and the jewels of gold and raiment. And yeah, raiment. Go on.
Yeah,
Uh,
raiment.
raiment. Verse 36. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians. Verse 37. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot that were men beside children.
So it says Exodus 12 and 23 in the Hebrew. It says and journey the sons, like it says bun, the sons of Israel about 600 uh men on foot, and a man is Hagabarim, and it says beside children. So it was saying men and children, right? These men don't have to be warriors. It's just saying father, basically saying like fathers and children. I got another one. Give me Proverbs. Give me Proverbs chapter 6.
Let's start at the top.
Because you gotta understand, being a warrior is a profession. It could just mean men. It says men and they children. That's what it says in Exodus 12 and 37. Doesn't say warriors with their arms. Doesn't say warriors with their shields and spears. It says men beside their children. All those men weren't warriors. So Proverbs 6 and start at 29.
Proverbs 6 and 29. So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whoever so touch toucheth her shall not be innocent.
So this is talking about men sleeping with other men's wives, right? Keep going.
Men do not despise a thief. If he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry,
Keep going.
verse 31. But if he be found, he shall restore servitude. I'm sorry. But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house.
Right. So this is about adultery and being a thief. One is above the other. Men don't hate a thief. And it's talking about all men. It's not talking about just warriors, right? We're gonna get into that. It says men don't hate a thief because he can just pay back sevenfold. Read verse 32.
But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul.
Right, keep going. All the way to 34.
All right, this is verse 33. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. Verse 34. For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance.
Right, so it says, jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore, he shall not spare in the day of vengeance. So, if you sleep with a man's wife, he's going to be mad. He's going to be angry, right? You see in some translations where it say, fury, for fury is, or for jealousy, fury of a husband, therefore he will not spare you in a day of vengeance. So if you go right here where it says man, it just says gabar. So I know Solomon is not saying, oh well, the only men who gets adultery committed against them are warriors, because every man has a wife. Just like you go into Numbers 12, it says gabar beside children. It's just saying men beside their children. When you go to Job 3:3, it says, when I came out as a man child, it says gabar. So it's just a masculine term where it means man. It doesn't mean actual warrior. Every time you see gabar, it doesn't always mean you're an actual soldier and about to go to war. You have to actually look and read some of these scriptures and understand how they're utilizing it and see if it's always applicable everywhere else. Because when you look at one point, same thing with Aisha. Aisha can be wife. It doesn't mean woman. When you go into I think Genesis 4 where it says the men called Adam, man there is Ayash. Woman there is I think it's Nakaba. So is now you have man and woman, but it still means man and woman. So you have synonyms in Hebrew where it means the same thing. But that was it, Sharp, or you can take back over.
Bring it out.
So that's a lot. Hopefully everybody kept up with what Ayanya was saying. That man and warrior is used as the same in the Hebrew, but there is a separation because every man is not a warrior. It tells you that in Exodus the 20th chapter. Everybody's not ready for war. So great points.
Same thing like what Sharp said. Every woman is not a wife.
You know, I got some other scriptures too, y'all. And you know, we're gonna open it up to the audience. Y'all want to raise your hand and ask questions? Y'all can feel free to do that. Y'all can ping people in the room. and we'll answer any question y'all bring to the platform. Con.
And listen, keep in mind if you're over the age of 35, I don't think you've seen your grandma in pants. If you're over the age of 35, I don't think you ever seen your grandma wearing pants. I don't know. I could be wrong.
You're right, Chief.
I don't know. We been brainwashed for a while. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know I ain't 30. I'm about to be 30, but I'm I know my great grandma. She wore pants. You know what I'm saying? But it, it's I can't. Mm, it's hard to explain, man. We in Detroit. It was snowstorms and all type of crazy stuff that was going on. So I wouldn't expect her to be, you know what I'm saying, trying to catch the bus in her dress. You know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, snow up to your kneecaps almost. Like I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying, get that. But I definitely get what y'all saying. Like back in the day, they didn't do that. I every picture I seen, whether it was drew or took, I never seen the elders. I mean, our older people in pants. I never seen that. The females.
I have a question. In Spanish, they call it a bata. My grandma wore a bata, cutting up all onions and peppers to make a sofrito. Sitting in the living room, she always had a bata on. You know, bata is like the big, I don't know what they call them, a blouse, a big blouse, like a throw over, big old throw over to
God.
Con.
In the
to the
Bahamas, we call those dusters. Uh, y'all, I forget what Jake in America call them. But yo, I just came up to say I have my grandmother died at like 89. My great grandmother died at like 97, and my great grandmother before that died at like 112. Right? I've never Well, I never got to experience my great grandmother, but I've seen her pictures, nor my great great. But my grandmother, who I grew up with, I've never seen her in pants a day in my life, bro. Not one time. I just came up to say that.
Con, I'm 50. I'm 50. No, I'm 51 years old. My great grandma never seen her in pants ever, not one day.
We have a museum over here in the Bahamas, and it shows like what our foremothers and fathers were doing in the plantations, right? Because we had a sugarcane plantation, sponge plantation, right, where we would actually collect sponge out of the ocean. Um, and if you look at the pictures of the sugar plantation, you would see all of the slave women sitting down in dresses, full dresses, and scraping sugar cane to get to the raw cane so that could be processed and milled, right? I- You never see any picture depicting the slave women over in the Bahamas, Jamaica, wherever you want to look in the Caribbean wearing pants. And I know that's the same thing in America as well, right? Like Elder Shawpaw said, you talk about what's her name, Elder? I can't the name of the slave,
Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman, right? Never seen her
Yeah.
in pants, right? And she led an entire revolution in a dress. So just came up to say that. Hey,
yeah, that they had this show that got cut off. It was about Harriet Tubman in the slave trade. I forgot the name of the show. They only had a couple of episodes, and you seen that sister. She girded up her dress when she was getting chased by the meat mice, and she ran through that damn joint. I think it was Harriet when she was younger. I forgot the name. Was it Railroad? Something like that.
Khan,
Railroad.
Railroad. That was the Amazon special that they had for a minute.
It's actually called The Underground.
The
The
underground.
underground. The
Yeah.
underground. See, railroad, the underground railroad. I was close, damn it. But yeah, the underground. She girded up her dress and she ran through that mud and water like a champion, like a champ. You know what I'm saying? No pants needed.
God, Shalakia. There was these memoirs that are written by slaves about their experiences, and there was this a few times where they would say to hide themselves when they were trying to escape because the slave master might have a reward out looking for a female. They would wear pants only to disguise themselves. So those were the only reasons why even back then they were wearing pants to disguise themselves as men when the reward were out looking for slave women, because they wouldn't expect even a woman even escaping to dress like a man. So they did it for those extreme reasons.
Well,
Uh,
our women were more in order. Our women were way more in order back then.
Well, it wasn't even our women. All women were wearing dresses, right? So that thing about wearing pants only came in with that you know sexual rebellious type movement where these women started to do that.
and once again, what pants are women supposed to wear? Are they supposed to wear tight pants? Or are they supposed to wear baggy pants? Make it make sense. Please make it make sense. Somebody, anybody, step right up. Step right up. Anybody. Tight pants or baggy pants? Which one fits modest apparel? Which one?
I say neither, but I
I have a question, man.
guess baggy if I had to choose. But
Yeah, brother Jody said he had a question. What's your question, brother Jody?
Appreciate it. So in that scripture that y'all was pulling, to me, it's talking about cross dressing. So my question
Yeah,
to
he's
you
really
is,
low.
yeah, either take your Bluetooth out or bring your
Yeah.
own little
Can you hear me better now?
perfect.
All right. So the scripture to me is speaking about cross dressing, and it seems like there's a lot of emphasis on pants. And I've heard some people say that women never wear pants, which is not all the way true. But what's the difference between? You can clearly tell if a woman is wearing pants that's for a woman, as opposed to dressing like a man. So my thing is, what's the emphasis on this pants thing? Why is it such an emphasis on pants particularly, and not so much cross dressing like a man?
Because everybody knows a man not supposed to wear a dress. But this is the thing. Now you got brothers that want to go into all these etymologies of words and definitions of words and try to push that it's okay for our women to wear pants. And we're saying, no, it's not okay for our women to wear pants. We're saying what is the total opposite of what they're saying in Deuteronomy. You know what I'm saying? Nobody argues the dress part on a man. But for some reason, they have a problem with the pants on a woman. So that's the reason why we're going hard on the pants. And it was something that was brought out to our attention in one of our rooms. That was it kind of got heated, and and it's like we take low on certain things that we teach when we on the platforms together, but it's like certain people just don't. They come out of pocket and they want to. You know what I mean? They want to say certain things and cause confusion. So now it's like, okay, now we're going to put the doctrine to the test. So this is what's happening now. Now we're dissecting that doctrine. Yes, women are not supposed to wear pants. And there's pants for women in this society, but that doesn't fall under modesty. No matter how you put it, you want to put bell bottoms on them, you want to put, it shows their ass. And if it doesn't show their ass, now you wear baggy pants. Now they look like tomboys. So once again, what pants should a woman wear? falling under modesty and falling under not looking like a man.
The brother Joe, right? You saying that is not necessarily true. Women never wear pants. What society in the 1700s where women wore pants?
I know in China in the first millennium, women wore pants.
What
Off the top of my head, but I would have to
what women wear pants in China?
working class women. Women. Uh, I mean,
The 50s, they didn't wear pants.
I said in the 1700s.
oh, I wouldn't know. I have to go back and look. I don't know the answer to that question.
Like, cause women started wearing pants like what in the 50s,
Oh no, I gave
1950s.
you one from the first millennium. I know in China, at least what I've read, in China, women were wearing pants back in the first millennium.
The only time women in China was wearing pants was in the karate movies, bro.
Yeah, I like the women in China, right? And let's not get it twisted. Even the men in China wear garments. Now the Chinese are wearing business suits because they're followed after Esau, right? And even if you say the women in China wore pants, what does that got to do with the Israelite woman?
Oh, absolutely nothing. I only said that because of the assertions that some people were saying about no woman ever wore pants until recently. That's the
I
only
mean,
reason I said.
until recently, like when this law was codified, and this is why brothers got to read this article. When this law was codified, right? When the Most High said a woman not supposed to wear what pertaineth unto a man, men were wearing garments, women were wearing garments. Women will wear effeminate garments, men will wear masculine garments. But underneath their masculine garments, they had breeches to gird their loins, and also they would use their garments to gird up their loins when they either had to work or do battle. Bokashaw, could someone go to this link up on the top and read it?
How to gird up your loins, an illustrated guide. If you read the Bible, then you probably come across the phrase gird up your loins. I've always thought it was funny. It was a funny turn of phrase, loins. Back in the day of ancient Near East, both men and women wore flowing tunics. Around the tunic, they'd wear a belt or girdle. While tunics were comfortable and breezy, the hem of the tunic would often get in the way when a man was fighting or performing hard labor. So when ancient Hebrew men had to battle the Philistines, the men would lift the hem of their tunic up and tuck it into their girdle or tie it in a knot to keep it off the ground. The effect basically created a pair of shorts that provided more freedom of movement.
The
Thus,
effect, hold on, King. The effect created a pair of shorts that allowed more freedom and movement. Can you imagine trying to scrap with a bunch of dusty Africans and then your garment is on the floor? So a damn hard heel back African could damn step on it and you fall to the ground. It's a wrap for you. Or you trip over your own garment. Nah, they used to tie it in a way where they said, look, it looked like shorts. So that goes towards a warrior apparel. But who would be in war? It would be the men, right? Read on.
thus, to tell someone to gird up their loins was to tell them to get ready for hard work or battle. It was the ancient way of saying man up.
Of saying what?
Man up.
Of saying man up, right? Pants, breeches, girding up your loins is all masculine. It goes into a man up energy. Read on.
While I've had a vague notion of what it meant to gird up your loins, I've always been curious how exactly you do it. So we did some sleuthing and found these instructions on the Historizine podcast and turned it into an illustrated guide for your enjoyment and edification.
Well,
In
and that's it on that. And when you look at the guide, it shows you a process of how an ancient man would have girded up his loins, right?
time,
Something like that.
yeah, it makes sense. I see. Mhm.
So it meant a man was either going to war or going what
To
into
work.
to work hard labor. That's why during the females liberation movement, they had that damn ugly ass white woman in overalls because she went to go work a man's job.
Kind.
Right. A woman in overalls, bro, looks crazy. She just looks crazy. She looks like she's cutting lumber in the back with an axe.
Susan the lumberjack.
It's out of place. That's what it is. It's totally out of place. But everything is evolving into what you see today, and this is what we're dealing with today. This evolving of righteousness into wickedness is becoming wicked. You don't hear about Muslim women getting raped in hijabs and long dresses. You just don't hear about that. You know, these are certain things that keeps certain energies and spirits away. Women are more respected in dresses and head wraps. They call you sister. They'll call you queen. But you dress differently. Hey, what's up, shorty? How you doing? Can I get your number? You got a man, girl? It's a different approach because it carries a vibration. It carries a spirit. It carries this energy. It carries a place of not being in place. So you get approached differently because you're moving differently. Welcome, Elder Terrell. Elder Terrell in the building. Finally made it home.
Well, the Torah in the building. Shalom.
Shalom, brother. Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom,
Family.
shalom,
Y'all about to
shalom, Martha. Yeah, about Shemya Shabbat. Shalom,
Yeah,
Akim.
but Shem Shabbat.
Shalom, Ella. Welcome back.
Shalom, shalom, Akim. Yeah, Ephraim was right. Ephraim was right to a point, but Ephraim was right. I mean, what Ephraim was trying to say, if you look at it, like the Muslim women now, the Muslim women do get raped by the Taliban and that type of stuff, but that's not really like the seductive clothing. That's just more of a control and abusive things. You know what I mean? But like you say, when they carry themselves a certain way, the women that's wearing pants, tight pants, and that type of stuff is attracting that demon spirit because it's all about demons, man. You see what I'm saying? So you putting up, you getting that man to get into that lustful demon zone now, and then he's seeing your bodies and he's seeing your chest and he's seeing everything, and that's making it more attractive to do something to rape you. It's just what it is. You got guys that's been locked up 25 years. You come home, you see something like that, man. You know what I mean? You enticing them. So it definitely makes a difference when a woman is in a dress and not showing her body. That's a lot of things are just common sense, man. As opposed to, you know what I mean, showing her body and showing off her body and what type of energy she's gonna attract. So it's a whole different, aspect. So yeah, Ephraim is right with that. But I mean, like I say, the Taliban and these guys, they rape their women for a control purpose. Things like that. It's different.
It definitely ain't no randoms like that. It ain't randoms. They'll take a child first before they take a woman in a hajib. They'll take a child that ain't covered up, and they'll take one of them girls before they take a grown woman in a hajib in a dress. This is facts. Islam loves young women. Their prophet Muhammad was known for marrying 9-year-old girls. So they that's something they do still to this day. So them young girls are not covered up like that, um, like their mothers and stuff like that. So that's just something about them. But they're more prone to getting raped than a grown woman in the hijab and the dress.
Con. A rape is not just a random act. Rape is an act of lust, stalking, control. Just like the elder said, rape is not about sex. Rape is about asserting your authority and your control over somebody who's weaker. And a lot of times, women get raped is because they were being stalked before. The person didn't just randomly saw them walk out the door and say, "Oh, I'm gonna rape that person." No, they were stalking that person before, watching their movement, watching something about that person got them into that mood where it's just like, okay, I want to do that. But it's not like a woman walk out the door and a rape is just, I'm just gonna rape you. It's not normally done on that level. So a lot of times women were dressing a certain way, and the person were watching them for a period of time, kind of stalking them, watching their schedule and things like that, and that's when they kind of said, okay, they're home alone, or and they do things like that. You know, sometimes yeah, there's some crazy niggas out there who just do some crazy stuff too. So
Yeah, like exactly. Shalaki, you finish, Shalaki, Shema, you finish?
con.
Yeah, yeah. Now you're right. I mean, there's all type of situations. You got women that get raped on the first date because the man felt like he should have got it and he ain't get it. There's all type of situation, but basically, it's the rapist mindset is control, total control. That's what he is. Along, but he may have the sexual demon on him, but it's a control attribute. So you know what I mean. So rapes comes in different forms, but you're not doing a service. Especially you do got a lot of random rapes because the way the women is dressed. You know what I mean? You do got men that's just coming out of prison or wherever, just got that rape mindset that will follow a young girl home, especially at nighttime. I know in New York City, a lot of these young girls is out late at night. No order. They're out there 12 o'clock, 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the nighttime walking home by themselves and they're not covered up. You know what I mean? And you got predators out here. A lot of things are just common sense, man. That's why my elders used to tell me, don't lose your common sense when you come in this, man. A lot of things is common sense. If you out there 1, 2 in the morning and you dress half naked, there's a good chance that somebody may roll up on you. Not you may get away with it for a while, but you putting yourself out there, you know. That's why it's always important to carry
Con,
yourself modest.
con.
Uh,
Shalakia.
Salakia, let me chime in real quick. Let me go to the book of Genuine, chapter in those jeans. Check this out. Looking good, plenty tight. Is there any room for me in those jeans? Really thick, like I like it. Tell me, is there any more room for me in those jeans? Looking tasty, really scrumptious. Tell me, is there any more room for me in those jeans? Looking good, plenty tight. Is there any room for me? Is there any more room for me? You know what I'm saying? And you read the rest of the damn lyrics, man. They make songs about being in them jeans, boy. You know what I'm saying? Jake love them jeans. You know what I mean? You know how many arguments start up in the world because Jake get in arguments with a girl and ended up probably putting hands on them because they get so jealous when they walk out in certain clothes. They
Con,
like, nah, where you wearing that to? You ain't going outside like that over
con,
my dead body. And now Jake giving you the Willie lump lump. You know what
con,
I'm saying? Because you want to show your little lump lump. So you got the lump lump. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. It, 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 yes, Alaki, I'm driving. I'm on this GPS. I'm headed somewhere in Atlanta to pick up this damn stuff. But I yield. God.
Khan,
Salaki. And yeah,
Shalakia. Go ahead,
I,
King.
I had to, you know what I'm saying, a lot of sisters, and my before I got in truth, the rib that I had, you know what I'm saying, before I got in truth, she, you know what I'm saying, it's hell trying to get her out them jeans, you know what I'm saying, like she the attention is like is the next best evil, you know what I'm saying, the next best thing like cash was, you know what I'm saying, like money is the root of all evil, attention and having people look at you is now the root of all evil, and even, you know what I'm saying, already having what you want, and it's still like, for some reason, you know what I'm saying, sisters want other people to want them too. Like I don't know, but the won't get bad. You know what I'm saying? When somebody wants something too bad, they go try to get it by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's all I had to say. Kind.
Khan, and it's a love of money that's the root of evil, King, not money. So yeah, Shalakia. So a lot of times, a lot of females would have the mindset. Am I in the matrix? Can you hear me?
You good, brother? You good?
Yeah. A lot of times, a lot of females would say, "Well, I should dress how I want. Men should learn to control themselves." Sisters, people who rape are not just regular men. Okay, these are guys with some serious demons on them: serious lust demon, rape demon, violence demon, control demon. Rape is not about sex. Okay, so you want to be wise. When this is when it talks about using wisdom, you know, the Most High wants you to dress a certain way because He don't want certain spirits attracted to you. Right, so don't lean on your own understanding and be like, well, no, I should be able to dress how I want to. I should be able to walk out my house naked, and nobody should be watching me. They should be minding their own business. I've heard women say dumb things like that. Nah, you're definitely bringing attraction to you. Right, there was this girl dancing up in Macy's or one of these stores the other day, and a homeless guy was like coming up behind her because she was bringing a certain attraction to herself. Right, they tell you the way you dress that describes who you are and what you are. You see a police officer dressed in his uniform, or you see a man dressed in a police officer's uniform. The assumption you're going to make is that it's a police officer, right? You're not gonna. You run up to him, and he gets offended because you say, "Help me, police! Help me, officer!" You say, "No, if you dress a certain way, you're bringing a certain character to yourself, a certain profession to yourself, and people are going to make assumptions about who you are and what you're willing to do because of how you dress. Right? You dress with your vagina printed out in your tight pants and your titties and your nipples popping out of your clothes. Somebody's going to look at you and say, "Man, she looked like she's a good time girl." She's be willing to do it. If I drop some money on the table, she's gonna give it up because you look like a hoe, right? So this is the reality of it, man. And this is not the topic, but you know, since the brothers were kind of talking on the subject.
Shalakia. Speaking of twerking, and that video was talking about that. That was like a damn legion that came right behind the chick, man. And what's funny,
Con,
these Eves, they twerking. They don't understand. Twerking is kind of like a mating dance when you're doing that. Animals in the animal kingdom, they do it as well. They have mating dances when they're trying to mate with somebody. So for Eve to be doing twerking, she don't understand she's doing a mating dance in a human's aspect.
And that's why you get all different type of people attracted to what you're doing. And the type of people that you're attracting are those that's going to do you dirty, those that's looking at you like a harlot, and also by the way you're dressing. What you dress, how you move, how you conduct yourself is what you attract. That's why when Jake see Eve, beautiful dress, looking modest, apparel, she got her stuff together, she's humble, she don't want to be in front of everybody's face. Jake come at her at a different approach. He come out more respectable. But when it's a chick dressing like a damn thought, tight jeans, tight pants, whatever, all these different things, damn nipples look like about to come out, right? Dressing like a hoe. Guess what? She's gonna attract how she dressed. So now he gonna be the type of dude that's gonna try to do her dirty. Like, yo, you a hoe, you a slut, I'm out the bag, whatever, all these different things. And she can't blame him by the way she look. Because what? That's how she's dressing. She could try to front and be like, yo, like you were saying earlier, don't treat me like a hoe, whatever. Nah, listen, man, you dressing like one. You probably is one. You know? And don't get mad at how people approach you. You just gotta learn to dress yourself in modest apparel and be in order. And one other thing, when they talk about women wearing pants, and people want to push that doctrine, don't come into our rooms and try to push your doctrine when we don't do the same to you. The way in HOI, we don't get down like that. We have respect for other brothers, other camps, and everything. But don't come into our room and push your doctrine and try to bully our brothers or sisters with your own doctrine when you know damn well we don't teach that doctrine. And your doctrine is off. You know?
Right.
I yield the
That
floor.
yeah. That's what lacks in a lot of you know a lot of disrespect for certain brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? And then brothers choose their battles wisely. Because brothers, it's been brought up plenty of times in our rooms about women with pants. So you know, nobody really ever got that type of vibration in these rooms where it got mentioned. So you know, brothers be picking their battles and looking for the easiest fight. You know what I'm saying? Those are the bullies that really can't fight. You know, you pick on certain niggas, but you gotta pick on everybody the same way. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. Somebody got to draw the line in the sand, and they got to be some type of respect. If not, just stop. Go build your own platform. Go deal with your own platform, and that's it. And that's the problem with this damn clubhouse. It's giving many niggas a platform that nobody's even looking for. Niggas don't know you, bro. Nobody's looking for these individuals. You see what I'm saying? They don't even get burned like that on in they own homerooms. They don't get burned like that. So they come and try to build a name, and you know they want to sit on stage, and it's a lot of vanity, bro. There's a lot of vanity, you know. So it is what it is, man. Like the elder Terrell always says, exhort your Howard shot, and he'll draw all men to you, man. So it is what it is, man. Keep it exalting your Howard shot, but be respectful. We can agree to disagree. If you don't like it, go about your business, bro. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We never asked nobody to help us build shit. You know what I'm saying? We never had our men under people to build them up. We do what we can, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So take it as strive, man. There's a lot of sucker shit going on in Israel, and certain individuals see it. So you know, if you gonna be a bully, nigga, don't be a part time bully. Be a full time bully.
Right, you're right. You know, that's why I was gonna fall back from this app and get Sabak. You know what I mean? I don't know if he really gonna come on this. He might not. Cause that's the thing. You know what I mean? It's like and I ain't bragging, man, because what I mean, like you said, our work speaks for ourselves. And then you got a lot of people that really, they ain't go to camp, they ain't really do anything. They may see a brother like Yawal or any brother. Now you want to challenge him, you trying to get a name off of him. Or they see you and they know you from the maggot incident and all that. Now's their time to challenge Chief Ephraim. You know what I mean? It's almost like, like the champ is fighting non-contenders, man. Cats that didn't even put their work in there to get that champion fight. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like we trying to exalt ourselves, but it is what it is. You should be known by your works, man. And that's why a lot of times, you know what I mean, like I said, I was gonna fall back and you know, Sabaki might come, he may not, man. But you don't really see a lot of elders on this besides Daniela, you know what I mean? And you don't really see that. And I now I'm trying to see why, you know. And I yield.
God, Shopper, there's more to bring out, ain't there? I know you got more.
Yo, you hear me?
God,
Con. I want to bring out Ezekiel 44 and 18.
God. And you know what's crazy too, real quick. You see, there's individuals that was egging the shit on, and they was like, we need to hear it. We need to know the truth between the doctrine. And and they're not in the room no more. You see what I'm saying? It's like you need to know the truth. We need to hear it. Niggas love sensationalism, and niggas love to hear that shit world star and see a fight all the goddamn time. So that just show you the spirit that these individuals in these rooms is moving on, bro. You know what I'm saying? All Israel is not Israel, and niggas love the sensationalism. That's why you can make a room, you know, about controversy, and it's gonna bring more people in. You can make a video about controversy, or say Israelites get get beaten up by the NYPD, or go face to face with the police, and it's gonna have a million views because niggas love sensationalism. They don't really want to be edified, but it is what it is. Go ahead, Shoupa.
Con King. If someone on stage could do that, pull that for me. Ezekiel, Baba Kashaw.
So
What
like,
you want?
yeah.
Ezekiel what?
Ezekiel 44 and 18, King.
All right, Ezekiel 44 and 18 reads, they shall have linen bonnets upon their heads, and shall have linen breeches upon their loins. They shall not gird themselves with anything that causeth sweat.
Right? So it said, you shall have linen breeches again to gird your loins. Brother Jody, you still on stage?
Now he jumped off, and I was gonna say real quick that he brought up something about the Chinese people, and I was gonna say, well, I mean, are you trying to be an Ammonite or something? I mean, their standard is not our standard, so that's still what he said regarding the Chinese women was still being relevant to us. We live by the laws, touching the commandments from the Most High, not by what some other nation does. So even if that were true, it still don't matter.
Yeah, I just want to, let him understand that. He said, why the emphasis on the pants? Because the Bible emphasized that the pants go to men with loins. You know what I'm saying? And we can't water down the Bible, or because, in your household, you can't get your woman to take off pants.
But Salakia, see that's the double standard too, right there, because it be just like that. Jake in the world, you see, little boozy, he all anti-gay when it comes to the men, but he don't mind the lesbians. You see, so that vibration in spirit is the same in the truth and in the world. You know, niggas don't mind. Niggas don't mind. You know, they go against hard against the sodomite mans, but the lesbians they give them a free pass unless they're dyke. If they're super dyke, you know what I'm saying? They got the young MA going on, then they go hard. But let two pretty lesbians come up and they give up the ghost.
God, God. A brother had asked and said, "Oh, why are we going hard on the women wearing pants, and we don't go hard on the cross dressing?" Women wearing pants is cross dressing. People think only
Con,
men, because men wearing a woman's clothes is cross dressing. No, women wearing pants is also cross dressing. You know, so just wanted to lay that out, man.
yeah, and there was talk that we want to be edified, and people running to the stage, saying and all sorts of stuff. And now look, we only got like 82 people in here. No, nobody wants to smoke because I do want to see how brothers break down that Bible verse. Because someone bring it out one more time, Deuteronomy 22:5. I am very interested on how brothers break this down.
They want to see the battle rap. That's what they want to see. They want to see battle rap. You know what I'm saying? They got the spirit of cannabis. They want to battle niggas in the net, battle niggas over a check, battle niggas in the flesh. That's what they want to do. They want to battle all goddamn day. They don't. They're not really in it for edification.
Yeah, because I want to
Okay.
see how they break this down, with their understanding. Because I don't see brothers seeing a woman wearing army fatigue, or a woman that's in an officer uniform, or a woman that's in a navy uniform, and tell her like, "Oh, listen, uh, you're not supposed to have warrior apparel according to Deuteronomy 22:5." I don't see dudes pulling that law at all, to tell the truth, when they're out teaching.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5, and that reads, "The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God."
Right? So when you breaking down the law, when you get a sense of the law, you should know that a man's not supposed to be dressed like a woman. You know what I'm saying? I could tell if a man has on a garment, okay, I could tell that. But if a man has on a dress and I know it's effeminate, I'll be like, hell no, dude. You know what I'm saying? Same way if I see a woman wearing pants, I have to tell her, like, your sister, I'm sure you feel like, you look good at those apple bottoms, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and you know what the spirit behind that is, and I'll be honest with y'all, that's that same harlot spirit from the world, man. I'm gonna be honest, like in the world, how older women take their pictures? They turned around, showing off their behind and smiling over their shoulders. They know how to they know how the pants fit. And to be honest, like the reason
God,
I really don't like my women out there wearing pants, because I know, yeah, Howard Shah said, if you look after a woman in lust, you committed adultery already. So why would I want to put my brothers in a position if my woman is wearing something that's hugging the frame, and showing her feminine side and her feminine curves? That put brothers in a position where they might, when they mind might wander.
God.
John Salakia. Yeah, I told y'all about this yesterday, man. I seen a brother on Instagram with his wife, and she had ZZ's on a shirt, and I don't know how, like she turned around on the video, and when I say I was like, whoa, she had pants on with ZZ's on the shirt, and when I say she had the fatty bangy, she had the fatty bangy, bro, and it was like, what the fuck did I just see? You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but yeah, you gotta be careful because you can cause other men to go off. You know, you don't want no man really looking at your wife like that, brothers. You know I don't. I don't even like niggas following my wives on social media. That's why I don't follow other married women. I like to abstain from all appearances of evil. I don't want no nigga even thinking I'm trying to teach or talk to his woman. You see what I'm saying? So Just keep that in mind, Israel. You know what I mean? It's bigger than us. You know, you got to watch who you offend, especially if it's one of these little ones. And you know the rest of that scripture. And
Con, con,
you could be a stumbling block too. So
con,
keep that in
con.
mind.
Salaki, Ephraim is exactly right. You know what I mean? Anybody pull James 1:14 and 15? And just bring out exactly what Ephraim was saying, man. And James 1:14 and 15.
All
You
right.
got
I got you, Elder.
some,
My brother.
James 1, verse 14 reads, "But every man is tempted when he's drawn away with his own lust and
Every man
enticed.
is tempted.
Every man is tempted when he's drawn away with his own lust and enticed. Come on. Then when lust had conceived, it
When
bringeth
that
forth
lust,
sin." Stop right there, brother. Read it again.
when
Then when lust hath conceived, it
when
bringeth
lust
forth
have
sin.
conceived,
It brings forth sin, man. So when you follow your lust now you're bringing forth where you're going to start sinning. Like Ephraim was saying, man, that, you know what I mean, that lust then, the situation with David, man. You know what I mean? What David got himself into when he overlooked and saw the woman, when he was on his porch, high up on his porch, and saw the woman and looked at the woman and saw her body. You know what I mean? He let the lust demons come over him. Then he started plotting how to get that woman. You see what I'm saying? And then it brought that sin. Read.
God,
And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. And sin, when it's finished, bring forth death. Man, you know how many dudes have killed other men over that lust demon, man? It all starts from that lust, man. It all starts from that mind, man. So you enticing people when you doing that. You enticing them demons and getting them that lust demon on somebody, and now they come in with all type of ways. You know what I mean? Either rape you or get your man out the way. You know what I mean? And then it can bring forth debt on you too, because that lust demon. I know a lot of people in the projects or whatever, or just in general, they went to see a woman just out of lust, and then they got caught up in all type of situations, man. So that lust demon is the beginning that can bring forth debt, man, and it brings forth sin. Brings a lot of things. So you don't want to entice people, man. Especially, men is striving to do the will of the Lord, man. There's a lot of other things they don't want to be enticed and keep fighting that lust demons, because some of us is coming from a lot of things in the world, man. Some of us is coming from worldly things, man. You see what I'm saying? A large percentage of people, men are in general, see a lot of pornography by the time they're like 13, 14, 15. They see all type of pornography. You know what I mean? They go to the strip. Some of them is going to strip clubs when they get older. So they're fighting. That's one of the biggest things they're fighting, that lust demon, man. And you know what I mean? You don't want to make it. You don't want to make it where people, you know what I mean, is lusted over you, man, because it can bring a lot of things. All right? Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot. And with those pants, man, you can see a woman's outline. You know if she's wearing the big panty girl, the big girl panties, or she's wearing the G string, a G string, a, a G string or a thong, man. You know what I'm saying? So once again, which pants is these women supposed to wear? The baggy, where they look like TLC and creep, or 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 they or, or they wear the leggings, the skin tights to show they good though. Which one is it?
God, and a lot of times they know what they doing, man. All right, before a woman comes out of the household, man, we just gonna keep it 100%, man. We're gonna keep it a buck, man. Here at HOI, you know what I mean, we the kid that keep it 100%. They know what they're doing, man. They know just how to get a man to lust after them. I mean, if a woman got a big breast, she's gonna show that. If she got a big behind, she's gonna show that. They know exactly what they're doing to entice a man. Like Ariel brought up before, the young lion, you know what I mean, mating things, enticing you, man. Getting that lion roared up, man. Like in the jungle, man, getting him roared up and ready to do things. They know how to do it. The lioness know how to do that too. It's just a natural attribute of a woman, the seductive ways. So they know what they doing when they doing these things.
Hey, and real quick, if I might add, um, women, a lot of times when they come into this truth, they might feel. Sometimes y'all might feel like you giving away like some of your strength. Okay, you might feel like you giving away some of your strength because you can't use your looks. You can't use your looks to try to get ahead. See, a lot of women, all they do is use their looks to get ahead, to get a better job, to get a promotion, to get some new dude that's interested in them, to get some new guy to give them whatever they want. You see what I'm saying? So, it's true that a lot of people use whatever they got to get what they want, but the Most High doesn't want our women using to get what they want because, like just like the elder just said, it could bring all types of things back on the man and any man that's in the vicinity looking, right? It makes those men lust. And then when it comes to her, man, now you got all these other men, spirits jump on them to make them try to get your current man out of the way. So things end up falling back on your current man. So that's not love. That's not showing love to your man in any way. If you don't want to dress in modest apparel. Like if you want to wear your you know what I'm saying, your ass and your titties out, just keeping it a buck, that's gonna bring things not only to him but to you. And that's what the elders trying to bring out. So like I know like women like to use what they got to get what they want, but you gotta have to use your spiritual wisdom to get what you want, and it's true. And with that I yield.
Salaki, real quick, just want to reiterate. I used to work security in a 27 floor building in Buckhead. And anyone familiar with Metro Atlanta, that's like the Buckhead area would be the equivalent of, like, I think what y'all called Staten Island or wherever your Wall Street people be at, right? So in that building, I noticed that for all the companies, you had a bunch of women, a bunch of our women, Judites or whatever, or a few Northern King, probably Issachar, but you found very few of our men working in those buildings. Esau likes being surrounded by our beautiful women because a lot of our sisters are very beautiful. And so you're right; they do use that to their looks to their advantage to get a lot of these jobs in these corporate areas where Esau paid them a lot more money than the average J can get paid. So I've seen it firsthand.
Salakia. I just want to bring out one quick point about the Edomite that was called Elizabeth Miller. She started a movement in the 1850s, and she was going against the grain. And I just wanted to read this quick part of an article that I have. Um, the article basically is called "When Did Women Start Wearing Pants?" Right? Let me read this article. It says in some cultures, pants have been common garments worn by women for centuries or millennia. This was not the case in much Western society. United States women typically wore long skirts, with the exception of some women who wore pants-like garments to perform work or engage in sports. Right? Now, it's going to talk about what type of work they was performing. While there was some women who championed the pants in the 19th century, that was speaking about the 1900s, the women rights movement. Pants as an acceptable everyday clothing option for women didn't truly catch on until the mid 20th century, right? So that's from the 1900s to the 2000s, right? So this is like the latest trend right now. The adoption of pants as a popular item of dress for women in the Western society traces its roots to the mid 19th century dress reform movement. So it's talking about the 1900s. It was a movement, right? Although there were women of this time who were already wearing pants like clothing, if they were engaged in physical exercise or household work, the garments were typically worn out of the public eye. Most women usually wore long skirts that felt heavy, looked bulky, and limited their range of motion. Some women embracing the concept of rational dress wanted the option to wear pants in the public, right? Some wanted for purely practical reasons, such as for comfort and ease of movement. For others, the freedom to wear pants was tied to the women's right movement, a radical and controversial crusade at the time. So this was all part of a crusade to go against their man. Now check this. Um, it's quick options, quick points. There were short-lived revivals of pants wearing in the public by women, such as during the World War One, when civilian women took over jobs traditionally held by men, sometimes wore pants. Right? So it's saying when it was World War One, most of the men had to go to war. So the jobs that men was doing in America, there wasn't enough people to fill those jobs. So the woman would come in to fill those spots, and the woman at the job, they was wearing pants, right? To fill the spots of what positions? The positions of the men, right? World War II, 1939 to 45, pants were more widely worn by civilian and military women, both at work and socially. So the movement started from the 1850s, and then it went on up to now today, where women started to wear pants. But remember, it started with an Edomite woman named Elizabeth Miller. So it didn't start with our people. It started with an Edomite woman starting the movement, and then now World War One started to happen, World War Two started to happen. Majority of the men that was at work, they was all at war. So the woman come in to fit that position, and they started wearing the pants like the men at work. To where now today is a fashion trend and is a regular thing. To where now everybody's starting to wear pants. And then they got women rights movement, they got LGBT movement, they got all these different type of movements, not knowing they flipped the scale around the 1850s already. You know, so and I got one more quick point. You can look this up, women's rights social movement, and it'll basically show you all the information about it. All right. This other
I
one.
know you can ping it to the top of the room.
Oh, Khan. Yeah, let me pin it. I'm still trying to get used to this joint. Uh
Don't get used to it, young lion. This joint to have you on it all day.
God.
um I'll just send it to Ephraim. I'll send it to your back channel. I don't know how to do the pinging thing.
Salakia, has anyone read Proverbs 3:31 yet?
So like yeah, Aria, you can send it to me. I don't know where Chief went.
All right, Khan.
Ain't no one read Proverbs 3 and 31 yet. We're saving that for later, but after he finished, you can break it out.
Let me just here we go. Just send the article, and I'm gonna read one more thing. This is a link as well. It says the triumph of pants. However devoted the anti-pants faction, it couldn't stop change. During World War II, for instance, practicality trumped priority, and many women pulled on pants as they entered the workplaces to fill the jobs left vacant by men going off to fight. Even after the war, as women returned to the home, the notion of women wearing pants was losing the shock value in the home at the least. So another reason as well, it says the woman wanted to go and fill the spots of the workplaces of the men, and they started wearing pants as well too. And the reason why they wanted to fill the spots of the men, because guess what? The men wasn't home to provide as well. So they had to make money for the income for the household. And also what? The woman wanted equal pay with the men. Now you got to think about it like this. If a man is doing construction job, the woman not supposed to be doing those construction jobs as the man. That's supposed to be for the men. Let the men do that. Let the men build. You know, the one's supposed to be taking care of the household. She got the gardening. She got different things she got to do pertaining to a feminine woman. But construction, that's supposed to belong to the men. But the woman try to come into the job and fill that spot to provide for the family. But it's going against the order of Yahweh Shemel Shai. So I say that to emphasize the point. This pants wearing movement started with an Edomite woman. That's how it started. So we, like the brother was said earlier about the Moabites, and they might have pants, whatever their culture. That's their culture. Anything Esau do, we got to do the opposite. You know. So let's not be guiled by the damn devil. You know. Let's go back to our ways and our customs. And I got there's a quick precept, Zephaniah 1:8. The Lord said He gonna punish the those of the princes and the children that's in strange apparel. You know. So we say that to say, man, Most High going to judge at the end of the day. So we trying to keep everything back in order through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. And this is how we move and how we teach in HOI. You know? And if you got a problem with it, just wait till the Lord show up and then you're going to see who's telling the truth or not. You know? But in the meantime, we trying to lead the flock in the right direction. So with that, I yield. Kwame Yasha.
Uh, hey, brother Shah Paul, you want to bring it out now or a little later?
You can bring it out.
Con, just laying back on everything the brother just said. Proverbs 3:31, playing upon tables. It says, "Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways." So you got the nation of people who is our arch enemy, and the people whom the Most High hates, has indignation forever. They're the ones who created pants. We should not be following their ways. Period. The Most High shows us to be above all nations, and we have to hold the standard the Most High gave us, and not try to go after these other nations. And that I yield.
Con, and that story with David and Bathsheba is a good story. When we, as far as this topic, when we talking about lust, that's a real heavy story based on what happened. Because you can look at that story both ways, but we're gonna look at it. We don't add on what the Bible does, so we're gonna look at it one way, which is either David turned into a peeping Tom. You know what I mean? If you want to really look at it, but you see what I'm saying? He saw what he saw, and when he saw that, that lust started saying, "I got to get this woman, man. I got to get it. So I'm gonna do something to get her man." And really, what happened with that is David abused his power as a king. Deuteronomy 17:17 is talking about kings abusing their power. David abused his power because the man was fighting in David's army. He was a good soldier. You see what I'm saying? And once David saw what he saw, he said, "Look, man, I got to get rid of this man somehow so that I could get his woman." You see what I'm saying? And it brought forth sin when he did that because the man was faithful to David. But that's how them lust demons operate. You know what I mean? Now, the other way you can look at it, but I won't add to the Bible, is that you never know. Maybe she knew that David was looking at her. You see what I'm saying? And could have planned it and then had, because David was the king. And we know that women seek power. But like I said, what I mean? The story is what it is. I would never add to the story. That's what it is. So the main thing is that David lust conceived him, and then he started plotting how to get rid of that man. And that's how heavy lust is. It could bring down any man. We all fight in these spirits, man. That's why we pray daily to the Most High. You know what I mean? To get rid of that dangerous spirit of lust. And then when people entice you to it, it gets worse. Because our foreparents, they didn't have to deal with as much lust as we have to deal with. Because a lot of times the women was covered up. You know what I mean? We knew who we was in all our captivities except this captivity. So our women knew how to dress modest. Now, that don't mean that a woman can't have a whorish mind even though she got a dress and still have the ways to seduce men. But at least they was dressed up. Now they just dress anyway. So that lust demon is all over. So you got to really be praying against that spirit. With that, I yield the floor.
Yeah,
Salaki.
Salaki.
I got to.
Shalom, yo. Y'all about Shemel Shabbat.
Yeah, but Shakata.
Yeah, I just wanted to land me back on what the brother was saying when he brought out Zephaniah 1 and 8, right? Um, because there's this idea that Zephaniah 1 and 8 is a metaphor, and it's supposed to be about putting on idolatry or putting on the garment of idolatry. And um that I've only heard that one time. Um can anybody can anybody speak to that?
Salaki. Can you hear me?
Salakia.
Oh, go ahead, King.
It really means both. It like a lot of Yahweh's scriptures come in a manifold.
Con,
So it can mean, taking off idolatry and putting on righteousness. But it does also literally mean strange apparel, strange garments. Because if your apparel didn't matter, why would we wear fringes? If your apparel didn't matter. So we definitely got to get it right. It means both. It could go both ways. A lot of Yahweh's scriptures come in a duality or manifold, and that's one of them. You understand? Don't let no one say it's one or the other. It's actually both.
a Salakia.
The what?
Yeah, I was going to bring out the same thing. I just didn't know if you wanted one of the elders break it down or not. But I'll bring out the scripture to land back on what Elder Shalpar just said. Job 11:6, and this applies especially for the audience people. Any scripture you read, when you question is it literal or physical, it's best to take it as both. But that's just my opinion. Here goes the word. Job 11:6, and that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is. And it says, know therefore that God exacted of thee less than thy iniquity deserved. So a lot of scriptures are dual in nature. They're truth both spiritually, but definitely true spiritually. One does not cancel out the other. One does not negate the other. I yield.
There you go. Salaki, let me get a scripture too. Just to let me back on that.
Go ahead. What you got, brother?
Salakia, 1 second. Let me get Ephesians 3:10.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 3, verse 10, and it reads, to the intent that now unto the principalities and powers in heavenly places might be known by the church the manifold wisdom of God.
See, the wisdom of Yahweh, it comes in a manifold. It's double meanings, double entendres, parables. You understand? So it could be literally and spiritually at the same time because it's a manifold of wisdom. We got to unfold it. Yeah, the top is also true, but also what's under the surface is true too. You understand?
Con.
Elijah, you got understanding from that? Elijah, you there?
And real quick, here's the thing. Real quick. Here's the thing. You got to understand, you can't make the truth easier for yourself. You know what I mean? By getting scriptures to justify, you know what I mean, a woman wearing pants. Because here's the thing. The world is wicked, right? And um this would be easy for them to do. Like, all right, well, come in the truth, you wear pants, and you know what I mean? They're not fighting that spirit to become a righteous woman. You stay in with what the world wants you to do. You know what I mean? One of the main things, for example, One of the main things why a lot of women have a hard time with the multitude of wives thing, one, they still fight in the spirit that they think they sharing their man and they don't want to share their man. Two is they worry about what others think, how their friends is gonna perceive them. Like, yo, you's an idiot. You really have your man with more than one woman. Like, you really stupid. You see what I'm saying? So why? Because it's still worldly things. It's easy to be righteous in a righteous world. It's hard to be righteous in a wicked world because the people around you, the so-called peer pressure around you, is always in your ears. You see what I'm saying? So that's a fight to get a woman out of her pants and get her with a dress because the world is pushing the yo dress this just this way. You know what I mean? You could dress like how you want and all of that, enticing that horrid spirit. So these are fights that we have in this truth. So you can't make the truth comfortable for yourselves by, well, we ain't gonna get her out that pants, man. We just gonna have her in that pants and show her to be a righteous woman anyway. Nah, you can't do that. You gotta fight. You gotta fight with your woman spiritually to get her in that modest apparel. Understand what I'm saying? Definitely.
Con. Salakia. I had a quick precept I wanted to bring out, uh, pertaining to what Elder Terrell was talking about earlier, where King David was lusting over Bathsheba, and he basically killed Uriah, which was a good soldier in his army, just to get his wife. Um, if any of y'all know, if any of y'all watch like historical movies about kings and queens, kingdoms and all these different things, some movies they will have kings, and they will call their subjects or their servants or their citizens peasants, and they have some rules where if a man married his wife, before he married his wife, the king has right to sleep with that man's wife first, right? And that's called, is in French, it's called droit du seigneur, or which means the Lord's right. Also known as right of the first night, was a supposed legal right in medieval Europe, allowing feudal lords to have sexual relations with subordinate women, in particular on the wedding nights of the women.
That was an honor, King.
Right. That's what. Yeah. All right.
And Salakia, that's for anyone that saw the movie Braveheart. That's
Con,
what was going on in that movie as well.
Con, and also there's a tale about Genghis Khan, and how there's a Netflix show called Marco Polo. Right. If any of y'all seen that show, Marco Polo on Netflix, it's about Genghis Khan, and Genghis Khan was implementing that law that he had to sleep with every man's wife before that man got a chance to sleep with his wife for the wedding night. And he said this man fathered thousands of children through sleeping with other people's wives, and they couldn't say nothing against this man, or he would just kill them and just take their wives automatically. Right. So the reason why I want to bring that out, because us as a nation.
Salakia, you're right. Genghis Khan, one of the most dreadful and terrorist dude on the earth, man. That's exactly how it went down with him.
Khan. And remember you was telling us that he said, yo, since you broke God's laws, God used me to bring the judgment and punishment.
Yeah, that's a statement. That's a statement. That's an actual statement that he made. You know what I mean? This is what happened to you when you break God's laws. He sends me to bring punishment on you. That's an actual statement.
Khan. Khan. So I want to bring out the scripture to show that, listen, we as Israel, King David, one of the kings of Israel, we have to keep law and order. And like the elder was saying, he abused his power at a point in time. And King David was a man after the Lord's heart. But even he went off on certain things. But this was all used for our learning sake, like in Romans 15:4. So this is a quick parable precept in 2 Samuel chapter 7 in verse, let me see. 2 Samuel chapter 7 in verse 9. All right. 2 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 9. Matter of fact, Salaki, let's start at verse 7. 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 7. Verse 7. It says, in all the places wherein I walk with all thy children of Israel, I spake a word with any of the tribes of Israel, whom I commanded to feed my people Israel, saying, why build ye me an house of cedar? Verse 8. Now therefore so shalt thou say unto my servant David, thus saith the Lord of hosts, I took thee from the sheepcote, from the following the sheep, to be ruler over my people Israel. And I was with thee whithersoever thou wentest, and I have cut off all thine enemies out of thy sight, and I have made thee a great name, like unto the name of the great men that are in the earth. Right? So he's speaking about David, his accolades. Verse 11. And as since the time that I commanded the judges to be over my people Israel, and caused thee to rest from all thine enemies, also the Lord telleth thee that he will make thee an house. And when thy days be fulfilled, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers. I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed of the bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. So the Lord is telling David, he's telling Nathaniel or Nathan to tell David the covenant that he's going to make with David. Right? Well, let me get this other one real quick. Let me see. Nathan and David on Uriah. All right, here we go. 2 Samuel chapter 12. This is a parable right here with David, and he basically stole Uriah's wife and killed the man for it. 2 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 3, or verse 2. The rich man have exceeded many flocks and herds. Now that rich man is speaking about David. He has many flocks and herds. He can have his pick of the litter. He has control of the kingdom of Israel, right? And he's a shepherd. Verse 3. But the poor man have nothing save one little ewe lamb. Now that poor man is Uriah. He has nothing but that one little lamb. That lamb is speaking about Bathsheba. So that one lamb he has is his wife Bathsheba. This is Uriah is speaking about, which he had bought and nourished up. Right? So he married his wife, took care of his wife. Uriah is a mighty man, fighting for the army of David, for the nation of Israel. And he got his wife Bathsheba with him. And they grew up together with him and with his children. It did eat of his own meats and drank of his own cup and lay in his bosom and was unto him as a daughter. Verse 4. And there came a traveler unto the rich man, and he spared to take of his own flock and of his own herd to dress for the wayfaring man that was coming to him, but took the poor man's lamb and dressed it for the man that was coming to him. So he basically saying that Uriah, he was doing his own thing, him and his wife. They got their own house, got their own structure, they got their own jobs, they got their own money that they're making for their nation. And then he said the rich man comes in and takes this one little lamb from this poor man and basically dresses it for himself. Right? So he took Bathsheba from Uriah and killed Uriah for it because of lust. Verse 5. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man. And he said to Nathan, as the Lord liveth, the man that have done this thing shall surely die. So Nathan is telling David about this parable, this story. And he's saying the rich man, I got everything, got the pick of the litter, can have whatever he want. And the poor man only has one lamb, but the rich man takes that one lamb and kills the poor man and keeps that one lamb for himself. Right? So he's a bully, he's a tyrant. So David is mad, he's pissed off. He's like, yo, who is this? Who did this? Right? Let me know his name. I'm going to cut off his head. That's wicked. Right? Verse 6. And he shall restore the lamb fourfold. So he said, whoever did this, if you took one lamb, you got to bring it back fourfold. Right? You got to give them more than one, probably 4, even 40. Because he did this thing and because he had no pity. Now, this the turntable right here. Verse 7. And Nathan said to David, thou art the man. Right? So Nathan was calling King David out. He said, listen, I'm talking about you. Right? Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, anointed thee king of Israel, and delivered thee out of the hand of thy Saul. And I gave thee thy master's house, and thy master's wives into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and Judah. If it had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things. So he was telling David that, listen, I gave you Saul's kingdom. I gave you Saul's daughter. I gave you Israel in your hands to rule in righteousness. If you needed more wives, you just had to ask. I would have gave you that either way. You didn't have to steal somebody else's wife and lust after them and even kill their husband for
Shalakia King,
it.
you just put a cut on multiple wives as well.
Con.
We was gonna get into that. We was gonna get into that. No, not to turn the subject, but I was just getting ready to land me back off a young lion and get into that. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of the Lord to do evil in his sight? Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and hast taken his wife to be thy wife, and hast slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. So David set up Uriah and told him to go out to war. And David told Joab to put Uriah in a position to where he had no hope, he had no chance. He was surrounded by the Ammonites, the heathens. And David kept trying to push Uriah out there. Uriah said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to go out and party and everything. I want to hang out here with y'all brothers. I don't want to go to my wife yet. I want to hang out here with y'all brothers." David kept trying to push him out there to war. But Uriah was a loyal servant, right? So David took this man's wife in wickedness. Now, if Uriah would have died in war, defending the army of Israel, and then his wife is a widow, David could have married his wife, to help with the family and the household and everything. But he did it in wickedness. And like the elder said, he abused his power. Now look what happened. Because of him doing this, he's stealing another man's girl, like Trey Songz with the music videos and all these songs, Mr. Steal Your Girl, which is wicked as hell. Look what the Lord did unto David. Verse 10. Now therefore the sword shall never depart from thine house, because thou hast despised me and hast taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be thy wife. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up evil against thee out of thine own house. Now, the evil the Lord raised up against David, guess who it was? It was his own son. His own son, Absalom. And I will take thy wives before thine eyes and give them unto thy neighbor, and he shall lie with thy wives in the sight of the sun. That's what Absalom did unto his father. Absalom literally took David's wives and slept with them in front of all Israel. So that shows you what? Like in Luke, whatever you do in the dark will come out into the light. So you scheming on brothers and this and that, and you want to take people wives and everything. The Most High did that to David, and now is an embarrassment. His own son Absalom tried to kill him, and his own son slept with David, his father's wives, in front of the congregation of Israel.
God. And like Ariel, give me all not to go off the topic, but it is lust. It is lust. Give me Deuteronomy 17 and 15
Con,
to just to tap on what a king abusing his power and taking wives, taking men's wives and stuff like that. I mean, it's not saying, we did people familiar with HOI. We teach you just like the scriptures say, a man can have more than one wife, but it got to be in an order. But
con,
you can't abuse the situation. But just because you're in a position of leadership or a king, and you know that women is normally attracted to the ones that's leading. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? They're attracted to that power. You, as a king, can't be abusive to that. And that's what David did. He abused his position. You mean Deuteronomy 17 and 15?
con. This is Deuteronomy chapter 17 and verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
Come on.
One from among thy brethren shall
So
thou
we know
set.
that, right? So that cuts that voting thing. You got to have a king that's among your brethren, among your people. You don't vote for somebody that's, and then we don't vote anyway because we know the political system is garbage. It's all rigged anyway. But you're supposed to have somebody sit from your people. Read on.
One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee.
Come on.
Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
That should not set a stranger over thee to rule. Well, like I said, we know the political system is garbage because even if you got a Jake, he's still going to be what? Controlled by the so-called white man. He's not doing the laws, statutes, and commandments. So that's really when we get into our power. And that was also during the time of Samuel and King David. So read on.
Verse
Because the
7.
king is going to be Hamashiach Yahushua, but then he's going to set up the 12 to rule under him. Read on.
Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. But he shall not multiply horses to himself.
It's saying, look, nobody focus on that. They just went, with the wife things. It's saying a man that's abusive, multiplying things. And this time, horses, what horse was a vehicle that you move around with? You could say a car. multiplying cars to himself off of the congregation, feeding himself off of the congregation, and just taking what he can because he's in power. Read on.
Nor cause the people to return to Egypt.
Why is that going to cause the people to return to Egypt? Because you're just using them and you're abusing your power and you taking this and you taking that and you don't have no balance with it. You're just being over abusive. So you're going to lead people what? Egypt is bondage. Keep them in poverty. Keep them poor. You're not looking how to get your people out of there. A good example of that, when we came from a school, One West, everybody knows, but the guy that fought was leading One West, the comforter, what he called himself. He abused his power. If he wanted a new chain, he would get a new chain. If he wanted other men's women, he would deal with other men's women. There was cases where brothers had, so he gave another man woman a chain. So what is another man's wife wearing the guy's chain for? Because he was doing that. He was see, and we could tell many stories, but I'm just using him as an example. Read on.
To the end that he should multiply horses.
Come on.
For as much as the Lord hath said unto you, he shall henceforth return no more that way.
Read on.
Neither shall he multiply wives to himself.
Neither shall he multiply wives to himself. And that's just talking about a king that's abusing his power. You see what I'm saying? Horses, like so-called comfy, had like about 10, 15 cars. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with wife. You could be, you see, you in the king's position, and you want to multiply all these wives, and you just want to take every wife for yourself, every woman for yourself. No, it got to be a balance, man. Just because you have the opportunity and you could deal with multiple wives, that don't mean you take every wife. You see what I'm saying? Peter and the apostles and them, they had a lot of women around them. Peter had a wife. You see what I'm saying? But and he may have had more than one wife. You know, sometimes the scriptures don't tell. But we know he had a wife. But listen, the point is he didn't take all those women around him just because they was following him. No, some of them was just sisters to hear the truth. He wasn't trying to sleep with every woman around him. So there's a balance with it. You just don't take multiple wives because you can. And then some brothers, in this system, they just feel like they want one woman, and that's cool with that. But you don't abuse your power. So that's what that's really talking about. A king that abuses his power because he can do it. You know what I mean? And the Lord deals with balance. All right, I yield the floor.
And if I could add one more thing before Ariel, before you go back right quick,
Con.
real quick. Also, I just want to note that also we need to note and pay attention to the fact that every man is not a king. You got we are a nation of kings and priests. So every man doesn't have the responsibility of a king. So that should be noted as well. So when it says a king should not multiply this and that to himself, that's a king. You see what I'm saying? Every man is not a king. But with that, I yield.
Con. So yeah, that was just the point I wanted to make. 2 Samuel 12. Let me back what the elder said about lusting, and that all ties into where how women wear the clothing that she got as well too. That brothers would start to scheme, and they were like, "Yo, I'm trying to get this chick, whatever, and all that stuff." And that's why Most High has these scriptures for us. And Deuteronomy 22:5, that's a law. You know, man shall not wear a woman's garment, like with Bobby Portier. A wicked demon. And another thing as well, you gotta understand, they want to emasculate the so-called Israelite man. Whatever role movie they put him in, they have him emasculated. Even in cartoons, even in animes, even in movies, even in TV show, there's always that one black dude that they got playing the sodomite role. So we gotta understand this is Babylon. And another thing, Esau, every Eve he got in his job, Esau will hire all the Eves in his job and have no Jake in there working unless he's a sodomite. Esau can't have a masculine man working at his job because he felt threatened. But he felt comfortable having all the other women around him working in that job as long as that Israelite man ain't working there because Esau felt threatened with his position. You know? So I say that to say, man, based on the topic of the room, woman is not supposed to be wearing no damn pants. It is what it is. You know, and the Most High is bringing everything back to how it's supposed to be in its order. People starting to wear their natural hair. Women starting to wear their afro. Their natural hair is a beautiful thing to see. You know, brothers starting to grow their beard. You know, come back to who they're supposed to be in righteousness. And every nation on this earth is returning back to their ancient spirit. You know, the Moabites making fake suns, fake moons. They were returning back to that spirit of being proudful as hell. Esau's returning back to being a damn devil. You know, Ishmael's going back to where Allah and all of this jihad and all this stuff that's going on.
Hey,
So every
Shalakia
nation,
King.
uh,
Esau never stopped being a
yeah,
devil.
you're right. My bad. You gotta take me to counsel for that, Ak. I'm going off. that man, that man is doing his job more better than anybody on this earth, and he's been doing it since he was created, being a damn devil. You know, and as him, another thing with Babylon, it means confusion is upside down. So everything that's going on in America is upside down. Women wearing pants, that is upside down. Men cutting off their beards, that's upside down. You know, men want to be effeminate, that's upside down. You know, so everything is upside down. So we got to go back and follow in the right direction. Like it says in Jeremiah 6 and 16, the Lord says, seek ye the old path, walk ye in it, which is the good way. You know, so we're going back to how we supposed to be in our culture. You got even the Native Americans, the woman, you ain't never seen none of them wearing pants. We got books. I got a stack of books right now about the Black Indians. You throughout all the pictures, beautiful Native American, Northern Kingdom sisters. You ain't seen none of them ever wearing pants. You know, so hopefully you brothers and sisters get edified. Beautiful room, beautiful topic. And Kwame Ashala, I yield the floor.
Shalakia. And just to line me off of what you just said, um, not every movie Esau got a black man playing a homosexual, right? Just to mess with the image of the black man, so called. Esau will also have him either having his woman controlling him, showing him weak if he's not homosexual. They will have him being a whoremonger, um, and just disrespecting women, sleeping around with multiple women and not caring about any of them, not taking care of his children or family. So this is the image that Esau puts out there in media in reference to what the image of a black person or black man is. It's either he's a whoremonger, he don't care about women. He just uses and abuses women for their money, for their bodies, and disrespects them. He's a terrible father. He's a no good husband. He's a weak man. His woman controls him, or he's a homosexual. So
Come. Yeah. Also, Salaki Shemai, not to cut you off, brother.
go
But
ahead, King.
also they like to depict the black man as well as a Edomite lover. They like to depict the black man married to the white woman, or the black man as best friends with a white guy, like on Power, right? So they'll depict black men in those images so that the kids will grow up and think that, okay, it's okay to do this. It's okay to have Esau as my best friend right here, or it's okay to get marry the other nations. So they also in a lot of shows now. To be honest, in most shows, they have they put one of those character flaws on the black man always. They the character flaws that Shemaiah just said, and the ones especially where they have us loving the other nations. And it's not even just Esau; it could be Moab and the rest of the nations. But they like to do that.
Salakia, and that's one of the biggest uh, keys in the Willie Lynch letter syndrome, as you would call it. The Willie Lynch letter, right, about this wicked Edomite. One of the tactics that he wanted to use was to separate the so-called Israelite woman from the Israelite man in the household. And what she would do and what he would do when that happens, the woman's supposed to be dependent on her husband, right, for safety and protection, to protect her in the household and the children and the family. But Esau will separate the so-called Israelite woman from her husband, and now she's looking for protection from a masculine man, but she can't find it because guess what? Her new protector or her new husband is that slave master now, right? He broken that unity between the Israelite man and woman. Now he's that new husband for the Israelite woman now, or the so-called black or Hispanic American woman, right? And what he does now, he will mess up her mind, and now he'll have her being dependent on him to where now he'll provide her for today modern things. Section 8, where you got to kick the Israelite man out the household for the government or the damn housing department to give you a home to stay in, right? All these different things, all these different benefits, food stamps, all these different benefits, and all that relies on what? You not having an Israelite man in the household. Now, what start to happen is something spiritually and also mentally as well. Now, the woman is in the house and she's trying to take care of her kids. She's trying to lead the household without a husband or a man in there. So now she start to put on pants. She feel comfortable in the pants, not knowing she's putting on a manly spirit. As she's putting on a manly spirit now, that's why even Eve say today, I got to be both the mother and the father. Instead of her playing her role as just the mother and let the man be the father or the husband. So now it's causing confusion. What happens then? Now she's training up her child, teaching her child. Now what happens to the little boy? He goes from being trained up to being what? Emasculine or even emotional, too emotional. His emotions is not stable. Where does he learn that from? He learns that from his mother. Why? Because that's the only parent that he's seen that was constantly there in the household. Now, when it comes to the daughter, guess what? She takes after her mom's. Now, if she see her mom's dressing up with pants, now the daughter thinks it's okay to wear pants. Whatever the daughter see of the mother doing is how she's gonna follow it. So basically, Esau set this up of divide and conquer. The household is split, is divided now, and now the mother got to play two different roles when she's supposed to only have one role, and now it causes confusion. And then the man is being put out there. He got to sell drugs, whatever, do this and that, just to make ends meet, and the society's going against him. He might get locked up. He try to get a job. They ain't hiring him. All these different things. Society's basically against us, right? But during the Black Panther movement, the Israelite man and woman was working as a team, right? And we was working as a team. They couldn't stop us until they sent a damn white woman into the damn movement. And then what happened? Came in, she came with drugs, got Fred Hampton hooked on the drugs, get jacked up and everything. And next thing you know, they killed the man while he was asleep. To do what? To stop that movement. Every time we try to have a movement, even the Bloods and Crips, the Bloods and the Crips started with a movement to defend our people, to defend our nation from these other heathen nations and these police officers gunning us down. Where now today, the Bloods and Crips is us killing each other now. Because they have infiltrated any movement we had and divided and conquered us. And now we're fighting against each other. So I say that to say it's important for us to go back to who we are. And that's why I say in this movement, being an Israelite, it's not just a movement, it's your heritage. Because it's not of man, it's of Yahweh Hashem Shai. So the woman got to come back in order and start to put on the damn dress. The man got to come back in order, put on the pants, gird up your loins, and be a man. And not just a regular man, but a man of God and a warrior for Yahweh Hashem Shai. Man energy, masculine, female energy, feminine. You know? And you ain't gotta dress like a damn thot to get attention from men. You could dress all beautiful, modest, humble sister. And guess what? The Most High will always bring you your Israelite man in due time. You know? Same go vice versa for the Israelite man. You ain't gotta be all boasting and all of this stuff, whatever and all that stuff. Being out of character. Listen, man, the Most High got a wife for you set up in due time. We just gotta come in DC and in order. Seek the kingdom first. Matthew 6:33. Everything else will be added unto thee. So beautiful topic.
Con, you know the crazy thing about it, even though it's backwards in the world, man, it's backwards. Like this society's backwards, but in the world, like if sometimes sometimes cats will hook up with a lesbian, like a damn bull, a dyke. You know what I mean? The dress is like a damn man with damn pants and a goddamn long shirt and showing nothing. You know what I mean? But then, whatever, when you hook up with the lesbian, then you like, damn, you surprised, like, oh my God, you got all that. I'm just talking about in the world. So it's
God.
crazy to like, if you get my point, you don't have to show everything. You know what I mean? The surprise is when, you know what I mean, you and your man is about to do something, and then you like, wow. You know what I mean? You don't have to show your goodies off. That's the point I'm trying to say, because a lot of times lesbians, they would dress like bulldozers, but then, you see and you'll be like, damn, she use a woman for real. You see what I'm saying? So you don't have to show all your body parts. And that's what the society teaches. It teaches us people, it teaches our women to be yours, man. You got Amarosa. She's talking about be a doctor or whatever and walk like a certain way. It promotes that. This society promotes everything that the Most High wants us not to do. This society promotes to do, to be whorish. You see, and we got to fight that spirit, man, every day.
Salaki, Khan. And like just like Dwayne Wade, son, you know what I'm saying? Like they making it seem like it's okay for him to raise his son like that. Like that shit ain't okay at all. You know what I'm saying?
Con. And Salaki, I got a quick precept. Somebody said Salaki?
Oh, you good, brother?
Con. Yeah, I got a quick precept pertaining to what the elders and which I've seen as well. Why it's important to know these laws and keep these laws, because this is part of our connection with Yahweh Shemel Shai and us coming back to rulership and righteousness. So this is Judith chapter 5, verse 17. Now, Judith is in the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha is one of the hidden books that they took out from the original Bible. And one of the reasons why they don't want us to know about these books in the Apocrypha, because they got straight cuts. Like this verse right here, Judith chapter 5, verse 17. It says, and while they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hateth iniquity was with them. So when we didn't sin before our God, we prospered. How do we know that? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. Us in camp, we always read Deuteronomy 28:15 on down to 68 about the curses. But Deuteronomy 28 and 1, the Lord is telling us, listen, if you keep my commandments, I will put you high above all nations. You'll prosper. I'll make you blessed in all these different things. Anything in the world, whatever you put your hands to in righteousness, I'll bless you with all things. Now, one of the Lord's commandments is Deuteronomy 20:25, right? Because in Judith 5 and 17, it says what? They prospered because the God that hateth iniquity was with them. Now, if the Lord said in Deuteronomy 20:25, that if a man put on wear a woman's apparel and a woman wears man apparel, that's an abomination unto the Lord, right? That's iniquity. That's sin. So you think the Lord is going to hear your prayers when you know damn well you're not supposed to be wearing pants? You're supposed to be in order. As a woman, you're supposed to have your head covered as you're praying. The Most High is going to hear your prayer. Not just a sin in the eyes of God is an abomination. That's why as soon as we tell the sisters, look, man, hey, get rid of that pants, put on the dress automatically, man. Because what will start to happen, your spirit will start to align. The way the dress is created and made is specifically made for a woman and also for what? Of private parts. You got to give it room to breathe down there, you know? But if you got a damn zipper in the pants, you using the bathroom, that's for the man. The man is standing up when he's using the bathroom at the toilet, Now the woman got to take down the pants and all this and take like damn near 10 or 15 minutes. But if she got a dress and use the bathroom, it's easy access. Right? Verse 18, Jude 5 and 18. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, that's the key. The Lord appointed us laws. We have laws. Men put on your pants, women put on a dress. That's part of the order, right? But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore. Throughout the history of Israel, when the Most High was with us in all these wars, we dominated, we destroyed the heathens, man. You had King David who killed 20,000 heathens, right? And more. You had Saul who killed 10,000 and more when the Lord was with him. You had Judas Maccabees in the book of Maccabees who was just giving the heathens a damn nightmare, terror, chasing the wicked, destroying them because the Lord was with him. You had Gideon and the 300. They had only 300 men and they destroyed about an army of 10,000 because the Lord was with them, right? This is us when we're with the Most High God. And part of being with the Most High God is you keeping his laws and commandments. So it says they were destroyed in many battles, very sword, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. Where we at today? We're in America today. This is the land of captivity. How did we get here? Because we broke God's commandments. In Amos 7 and 17, the Lord said, I'm going to send you to all different nations. Your woman's going to be as whores in these strange lands. You're going to be polluted and you're going to die. Right? So the Lord words came to pass. Led into a land that was not theirs, and their temple of their God was cast down. Where's our temples right now? We ain't got no temples right now. You know why? Because the temples we have right now, today, in modern terms, is our body. We're the temple now. We're the third temple. And their cities were taken by the enemies. Who's living in Israel today? The Jewish man, Amalek, right? Who want to proclaim himself as an Israelite, who's a damn lie. This is what happens when we don't keep the laws of God. And part of the law, especially for our men, come back in righteous order and for the women as well. Stop being disobedient. Stop being rebellious. Stop trying to go against the grain. Stop trying to say all woman right movement and all of this BS. Listen, man, the Most High created man and woman for each other. You got to be in order. And if you ain't willing to get in order and put on your damn dress, then guess what? The Lord gonna destroy you. And it is what it is. You know. I yield the floor.
Hey, who's this guy down here? You got a question? You're Mia or whatever? Shalaka. You got a question?
Hello, hi everyone. It's Umer Fasi. So
Hey,
I,
Amir.
hi, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah, thanks, I'm good.
You're the journalist?
No, I'm not a journalist.
Okay,
I'm
go
just
ahead.
like a normal dude. So I recently joined this Clubhouse app, and the first uh, uh, discussion that came to my wall, it was this one. So basically, I didn't understand I got the meaning, but I didn't completely understand the message in your question. Who wears the pants in your relationship? What What do you actually mean by this question? And then I would like to like
Sure.
talk from my experiences or my society or
Where,
like that.
where are you from, Umer?
I'm from Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. So,
Yeah.
are you married?
No, I'm not married yet, but I'm engaged.
You're engaged.
Yeah.
Do women traditionally wear pants in your society?
No, we don't.
Why
They
not?
don't. Uh, well, there are some reasons. Uh, First of all, in our society, the majority of people they are Muslims, uh, and in Islam, it's not allowed for women to wear like tighty clothes which shows their body and which like which attracts the men in wrong way. Like in Islam, a woman and her beauty is only for her husband, not for society or any other woman that who is not related to him. So basically, Islam teaches the women to keep themselves covered in proper clothes and not wear such clothes which uh, which like uh, which like attracts other mm, other men to them, and they can do harm to these women. And the second reason is it's our tradition, like from years, as long as we have history of existence. It's been in our tradition that women does not wear tight clothes or such clothes that shows their body, their body to to other men. So these are two main reasons why woman doesn't wear like jeans or any other type of tight clothes in our country.
Wonderful. That sounds really nice. So, in terms of the women, do they also cover their faces all the time?
Yeah, actually, in terms of covering the face, it's their choice. It's up to them. If they want, they can cover their face, or if they don't want, they can just keep their faces like to be shown. It's a matter of their choice, their own choice.
So, in you meeting your wife, um,
Hmm.
what was the process? How did you know she was the one? Was this arranged, or did
Uh,
you find and picked and said, "Yes, I want to marry this woman"?
okay. So I will once again I will go through my traditional values. So in our culture, usually arranged marriages are like more. So if I can say in percentage, uh, 95 to 98% of boys and girls, they get married through arranged marriage, and only a few percentage of boys and girls they go out looking out a partner for their self. So with me personally, mm, uh, uh, my family, so they saw this girl who is in our their family is like uh, friendly family to our family, and we have like uh, joint events and things like that. So they saw this girl, and then they told me about her, and asked me if I'm happy to do it, to marry her, or start my relationship with her.
When you say your family, was it both your mom and dad picked her, or
Yeah,
was it
yeah,
your mom who picked
both
her?
my mom, my dad, my sisters, and and the wife of my brother. What can I don't know if what word should
So
I use for her.
so there were
Yeah, they
more
are.
women. There were more women involved in picking your wife.
Yeah, yeah, but when they chose, when they find her, they asked for my permission, and the same happened with my wife. His family, her family, also asked her for her permission. Like we never saw each other before our like what we call the nikah, which is the Islamic way of getting engaged. So we never saw or talked to each other before that. But they showed her picture to me and my picture to her. So we just we liked each other. And we said yes. Like I said yes. I accepted my that to my family, that I want to get married to this girl, and same way she accepted it to her family. So this is
So
how it happened. And after
so
that we got engaged, and now after, once we are engaged through the Islamic way. Now she's my wife and I'm her husband. And
so
now we
how
can
how
talk.
how old
Yeah,
how old are you and how old is she?
yeah. I'm 24 and she's 23.
Okay. And is
Yeah.
that the typical age that you guys would get married?
Actually, mm, once again, I will say, in our society, uh, It is like a traditionally thing and also an Islamic thing to get married once you are like like once you reach that age, or once you started the need once you start feeling the need of having that specific thing. What should I say? I mean, once you start having the
Once
yeah
you
the
start
fee
to burn. Once you start to burn.
yeah
Okay, I
yeah
understand.
yeah
So
yeah.
are
I'm
you?
sorry, my English is just like
That's
it's
fine. That's fine.
uh,
Are you?
uh,
Are you the type of person based on your culture? Are you going to have multiple wives, or are you going to have one single wife? And the next question
mm,
is: are these marriages, do they last longer than the ones who go out and find their own wives or own husbands? Are there your arranged marriages last longer? Are there
yeah.
a high
Okay,
percentage of
okay, good.
divorce?
Yeah, one
Good
second,
question.
somebody. Your man. Let me just ask you because you said once they start to burn, so that's like open to discussion because I know some people say once they get their menstrual cycle, once they start to burn, that could be it could be a young woman. Like that's what we trying. What age is really determined when they would be good
Okay,
to marry?
okay, okay. If in terms of okay, first I will speak to this question. In terms of age, the most like common age for girls, it starts after 17, 17, and after 17, and for the boys it's I would say 18, 18, 20, 21, like that. And it's like the early ages. And we also have some like cases when people get married later, like at the age of 26, 27, but not later than that. Everyone marries before that age. And
Okay. And
yeah,
one more question, you man, real quick.
yeah, there were
And
two other
what it
questions the other brother asked. If I
hold
could
on, hold on. Yeah, I
okay,
understand
okay,
that, Emil, but it was
okay.
Clubhouse. We're working as a team. Let me say it that way, so he
Okay,
understands that. Before he go
okay.
back to the other brother, is it common for like an older man, say older man, taking
Uh-huh.
like a 50-year-old man with a 17-year-old girl or a 52-year-old man? Is that looked at something bad in your culture, or is it okay and acceptable?
No, actually, it's not it's not common among our people. Like mostly, just I told you about my age and my wife's age. We are, you see, we are the same. The same thing. It's my father. He's like 50, 54 this year, and my mother, she's like 49. Okay, my brother who's married, my elder brother, he is now 26, and her wife, she's I think also 20, 25 or 26. Okay, my sister, she's also married, so her age is 20 27, and her husband is I think 32 or 33. So if I tell you about the people around me, so this is the like the age, what can you say, this is like a range of ages between the difference is only a few years, 4 years, 5 years. The maximum is 10 years. Okay, but
Okay, okay.
I will
The other
not
brother,
deny,
Shemaiah.
the fact there are some cultures in our country where they are not good things, I accept.
I mean, one second. Welcome to Clubhouse. Um, I'm gonna let the other brother. I was just asking if it's looked like something that's shunned in the society, like how would a 55-year-old man be accepted with a 17-year-old girl? But Shabaya, you could continue. You could continue. That's the point I wanted to know. But Shabaya, you can continue. You can deal with them.
Con. Yeah. Yeah. Like I was asking you as well. The the divorce rates in terms of these arranged marriages. Um, do you guys have a lot of divorces, or your marriages are normally really solid, and you know you grow old with that person? What is that like over there? Can you hear me?
It's Mike. Tap tap the mic.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. So, one second. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Just hold on. I just have to text my fiance that I will join her in a few minutes. So, in my as I was saying, in my life, I'm 24. I'm turning 24 now. In my whole life, I have never seen a person that gives divorce to her wife. Never, ever. But to be specific, only I have seen only one case where there is like a family friend, a person who got married few years ago, and he was not in Afghanistan. He was in Turkey, but I don't know their details. But he divorced her wife after a few years. I don't know the details. But other than that one specific case, I have never seen anyone getting divorced. The thing is that once once we agree to marry a woman, or the woman agrees to marry the man, then we do it with proper commitment. We can do that, like, oh, I spent a few months, few days, few of years with my wife, and now I'm getting bored and I can't do that anymore. And no, once I got into the relationship, then I am honest to her. I will not do any harm to her. I will not break her heart by giving uh, by letting her by leaving her and things like that. So the divorce rate in our society, I would say uh, it's it's one. If we take 100,000 cases, maybe there are very few. I would say 10, 15, or 20 to out of 100,000 people. Because I told you I am 24, but I have never seen anyone in
Hmm.
my in
That's
my
that's a
family, in
very
my yeah, in my
that's
family, in my friends, in their families, never
that's
that
a
people
very
are.
honorable thing. I'm happy to hear that. Let me
Yeah,
ask you a question also. Are there
there
Do you
was
guys practice polygyny?
like marrying two or three women.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So in this case, yes, there are people uh, who does that, who are like uh, the word you said, polygyny. Yeah, they are doing polygyny. They have some people have two wives. Yeah, there is this thing, but the thing is, if they marry to a second woman, they do not leave the first one. They if it's like it's a relationship of equality still. If she is if he's spending 3 day he there are 7 days in a week, he has to spend time with both of them equally. If he has to give both of them houses, he has to give both of them money for like their expenses and all. He has to give both of them time. He has to give both of them love equally. If he does not do that equally, he's accountable like to Almighty God. So because it is in our religion. First, they say you if you can if you are satisfied with one woman, like what I mean by satisfying, that one woman completes your needs. Okay, because there are some times that women and men and women cannot like have that course in what the word is, I don't know. I would just say they cannot have intercourse. There are some days. So if a man cannot keep himself in control, and he's afraid that if he does not have that intercourse with his wife, he would go in wrong ways, and he will go out looking for the wrong ways. Then he is allowed to marry a second wife. So once if you are willing to marry another woman, then you also have to keep all these things in mind. You have to give both of them equal time. You have to give both of them equal attention, equal money, equal luxuries, equal same houses, everything same. You cannot like you cannot
No, I understand you. That
you
is a
cannot
very
treat,
honorable thing.
yeah,
So let me
you
ask
cannot
you.
treat, you cannot
I
treat one.
understand you. I
Okay,
understand you.
okay,
So
okay,
the question on the room when you came and you asked what it means. It says, "Who
sorry.
wears the pants?" The question on the top of the room.
Mm-hmm,
It says, "Who wears the pants in your
mm-hmm,
relationship?"
mm-hmm,
Wearing the pants in the relationship sometimes,
uh-huh.
or it means who is in charge, who is the
Yeah,
head
okay, okay,
in
now
your
I
in your
completely got your
marriage
question.
and
Okay,
your culture.
yeah,
Are you in charge of the family, or is your wife in charge of the family,
yeah,
or is
okay.
it
So
equal?
yeah, so now I got your like this whole idea completely, because once before in start when I read that thing, I didn't got it completely, but now I understand it completely.
Hmm.
So there is that.